Mira, mira. ¡Ay! Pasó ya. Y tiró la silla.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. In a video uploaded on June 17, 2025, Nomad Unknown shares a raw and personal update on her nomadic journey. After spending 8 straight months living full-time in her car, she opens up about the emotional exhaustion that has set in, prompting a shift in her lifestyle. She calls this new phase her dirtbag era, one where she plans to stay longer in remote wilderness areas, embracing solitude and simplicity. She selects a quiet, tucked-away campsite, choosing a setup that allows her to cook and relax from the back of her vehicle. While briefly mentioning safety considerations, she focuses more on practicality and comfort. Her tone is candid as she talks through her camp routine and preferences. But what begins as a peaceful retreat quickly shifts when she recounts a chilling close call.
I always like to have the most private side where I'm backed into, because it's where I spend more time, you know, cooking out the tailgate and stuff like that. I know a lot of people say back in for safety so you can pull away. Like, dude, if somebody's blocking me in, does it make more sense to ram them with the front of my car or the back of my car? Back of my car. That wasn't a question. Front end damage, I might not be able to drive anymore. Back end damage, probably can still drive. I'm not messing around, you know. When it comes to that, it'll come to other things. All right, this is a great campsite.
While camped alone in the Bridger Teton National Forest, not far from Grand Teton National Park, she found herself face to face with a grizzly bear. The moment unfolded with startling speed. As she stood behind her car troubleshooting a video upload, she noticed movement.
So the other night, I was ever so casually standing at the back of my car. I wasn't actually cooking. I was just troubleshooting something on my phone because I was trying to upload a video. I had my chair back there, just hanging out like I usually do. And something caught the corner of my eye. And I looked up, and about 10 feet away from me, moving towards me, was a full-grown grizzly bear. By time I rounded the corner to put the car in between me and the bear, it was probably like 6 feet away from me. Utter panic. Imagine you're just like hanging out like this, and then where that fire pit is, a grizzly walks up. Because that's what happened. I don't have my bear spray on me. It's on the other side of my car. Oh my God. Bear! Bear in camp.
Only to realize that a full-grown bear was approaching, just 10 feet away. Acting on pure instinct, she moved quickly to place her vehicle between herself and the animal. The bear closed the distance to about 6 feet before veering off. Though she had bear spray stored nearby, the encounter unfolded too fast for her to retrieve it. As she processed the moment, she became aware that other campers were nearby. Some had also reported strange sounds earlier in the evening. She managed to warn them as the bear circled her car and reappeared at the front, giving her little time to think. Though part of the incident was caught on video, the most intense moment had already passed by the time recording began. She reflects on how primal instincts took over, her body reacting faster than her conscious mind.
I feel like this bear was trying to attack me. No, but I also didn't feel like it was just like totally cool with me. And so I wanted to run, and I did start like moving kind of quickly. And then I had to catch myself to slow down because I was like, you are giving chase right now. Like, stop, slow down, and turn around. So I did. So the video's a little bit all over the place, but at that point I know that the boys had their bear spray in their hand and their car was open, and I just thought I will jump in their car if I need to right now, because I was defenseless. I think it was probably a little bit scared by the movement of all the other people. And I say all the other people, there's probably like 6 or 8 people in that area. And then that's when it crossed behind the rear of my car, basically where I had just been standing. You see in the video like how big it was in comparison to like my items, my car and everything. And then it just started cutting across the meadow, and I caught somebody else in camp on the other side was walking, and it caught my eye, and I was like, they don't know. And so I just screamed bear in camp. And those are like the only words I could get out of my mouth, because I was just in like 100% fight or flight mode at that time. I wasn't like fully like, I don't know. I just felt like it was just monkey brain. I was just like survival.
This experience reminded her of similar reflexes during past wilderness encounters, like nearly stepping on rattlesnakes while hiking. After the bear eventually wandered off toward a nearby meadow, she spotted another camper in the distance who hadn't noticed the danger. Still shaken, she shouted a warning across the field. Thankfully, fellow campers offered her a safer place to park for the night, helping restore a sense of calm after the intense scare. The most valuable lesson she emphasizes is the importance of keeping bear spray within arm's reach at all times, not stowed away. While solo camping offers freedom and peace, how far is too far when it comes to personal risk, especially in bear territory? Would you continue camping alone after an encounter like this? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. A YouTuber known as Harbor Explorers ventures once again into the wilds of the Australian bush, this time heading deep into Bindari National Park. The purpose of this journey is to locate a mysterious tent, one that has long been rumored to be connected to a tragic incident involving a partially recovered body found in a nearby creek years ago. Joined by a friend, Harbor treks roughly 5 kilometers into the thick forest. Along the way, he recounts the unsettling backstory. Years prior, a man known for his love of wild camping in this very park was discovered dead. Only his torso was ever found. Some believe the tent they're searching for may have belonged to him, left untouched in the wilderness ever since.
Friday the 13th. Good date to be hiking to a supposed dead man's tent. Alright, so back to the story about this abandoned tent out here. Now apparently the body that was found in the creek further down, the fella actually, apparently loved this national park. He used to come out here and wild camp all the time and hike in the area, so sort of strengthens the case that this could be his tent. But like I said, we'll go have a look around, see what we can find, see if we can find anything with a name on it or whatnot. Won't mess it up too much in respect to the fella if it was his, but we'll have a look anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe to get to the tent, probably not even. See how we go anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe.
As they hike deeper into the forest, they notice fresh, large animal tracks in the soil, a subtle reminder of the untamed environment they're in. Harbor calmly mentions he always carries a knife for safety. After an hour of hiking, they locate the tent, still remarkably intact.
Alright, here we are. It's a bit weird, eh? It's like a kid's bag there. It's a hiking pack. Part of a chair. how long this thing's been here. I mean, the body of the fella was found, I think, 2009. So if it is his, I'm not good at maths, what's that? 15 years or so ago? Surely it can't still be standing.
Scattered nearby are items that raise questions. A child's backpack, a collapsed camp chair, a duffel bag, and a large hiking pack. One detail stands out: a battery stamped with a date that closely aligns with the man's disappearance in the mid-2000s. The eerie setting grows more intense when a distant, unnatural horn-like sound echoes through the trees. Though both men hear it, they can't identify the source. Harbor, who had previously considered filming an overnight solo camp at the tent, admits that this moment has changed his mind. They continue toward the creek where the body was discovered. It's a narrow, steep canyon, dangerous during floods. Harbor speculates that if the man had fallen in during heavy rain, the conditions might have caused his injuries.
Yeah, she gets a bit gnarly down around the corner there. I mean, if old mate slipped in here somewhere during flood time and got washed down there a little bit, I don't think you'd be able to get out. And that would probably do enough damage to turn you into just a torso, but just speculation, we don't know that, so. But yeah, it's a gnarly canyon. Awesome spot.
It's only a theory, but a chilling one. After examining the area, the two men climb back up to the tent and make their way out.
All right, we're back. All right, we're done and dusted. We're out of here. Yeah, she's a creepy old bloody tent. That one out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm guessing by some of the dates and whatnot we saw on the battery and a couple of those things and the cooker, they sort of marry up to around when he went missing or he was found. So I'm guessing that probably was his tent, but still unsure, not completely sure if it was or not. But anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Harbor reflects on what they found, objects whose timelines seem to match the tragedy. While he can't say for certain, the evidence leans toward the theory that this tent once belonged to the deceased camper. Back at the car, Harbor ends the video with his usual casual tone. Though it was Friday the 13th, there were no sinister cults, no paranormal events, only that strange sound and an overwhelming feeling of unease. The date markings, the condition of the gear, and the location all point to the tent possibly being linked to the man who vanished. Could the secluded terrain have claimed his life? Or was there something else out here? Something darker? If this tent truly belonged to him, why was it never found before? And what exactly made that horn sound in the middle of nowhere? Nicholas Paparo is a passionate fisherman and content creator, best known for his outdoor YouTube channel, where he documents solo fishing trips, tests gear, and explores remote waterways. His typical videos capture the calm and thrill of nature, a personal retreat into the solitude of wild rivers. But in this particular episode, that calm is unexpectedly replaced by unease. The day begins as many of his outings do. Nicholas sets off deep into the forest, casting lines along an isolated stretch of river, accompanied by his dog, Lola. The mood is tranquil. He seems focused and content, immersed in the natural rhythm of fishing far from civilization. But partway through the video, that sense of serenity shifts.
Lola, come here. How's it going?
While filming, Nicholas notices two men appear nearby. At first, it seems routine. Hikers or fellow anglers occasionally pass by, sometimes stopping to chat, but these two behave differently. They remain silent, standing at a distance without saying a word. Even when Nicholas acknowledges them, there's no response. Instead, they hover, inching closer, pretending to look around, yet clearly watching him. Their behavior grows more suspicious by the minute. Their movements feel too calculated, too deliberate. It becomes clear they're not there to enjoy the river.
Come here. Come here.
Sensing something off, Nicholas grows increasingly alert. He doesn't know what their intentions are, but every instinct tells him to be cautious. Luckily, he's not alone. His dog Lola stays close, clearly aware of the tension. Her presence likely deters any further escalation, a protective buffer against potential danger. Not wanting to take any chances, Nicholas decides to quietly pack up and move to another location downriver. The men do not follow, and no confrontation occurs, but the encounter leaves a lasting impact.
Woohoo! Alright, those dudes are just standing there staring at me. Sketchy! I don't know if they wanted something or what, but they were peeping me out from down the river, and then they came closer and closer, then they were just tending to look at the trees, and then they kept staring at me. Fuck. Usually people like say something or whatever. They're just standing there staring, like, especially peeking past the trees halfway down the river and then getting closer and closer and then standing next to me and just staring at me. Yikes.
Later, Nicholas reflects on what happened, visibly shaken by the experience. What was meant to be a peaceful outing became an unnerving reminder of how quickly a situation can change, even in nature, where danger often comes in unexpected forms. The men's silent, calculated behavior raised immediate red flags. Were they simply awkward passers-by? Or were they assessing whether Nicholas was vulnerable, possibly considering theft, intimidation, or something worse? The way they approached without speaking, yet clearly watched from a distance, suggests more than casual curiosity. What do you think these men were really doing out there? Was Nicholas simply overthinking the encounter? Or did his instincts save him from something far worse? In a short but chilling encounter uploaded on June 15, 2024, Mike ventures deep into the remote woods of Dudleytown, Connecticut, a place long shrouded in folklore, mystery, and rumors of being cursed. Known for ghost sightings, inexplicable noises, and other unsettling phenomena, Dudleytown has earned a reputation as one of New England's most haunted forests. Despite the ominous history surrounding the area, Mike sets out on a solo hike, initially treating the trip like any ordinary woodland exploration. But as he progresses deeper into the dense forest, that calm begins to unravel.
Watch who's stalking who now. Who's stalking who now? Look at that. You see a person? Yeah, who's stalking who now? I got you now, motherfucker. I got you now, motherfucker. Look at this beautiful moss, by the way. Do you hear it? Look.
Strange sounds begin to follow him. Subtle but persistent noises from behind, as if something or someone is trailing him. Each time he pauses and turns around, the forest appears empty. No visible person. No movement. Just silence. Feeling watched, Mike ducks behind a rock to observe his surroundings. While recording from this hidden vantage point, his camera captures something unusual.
Okay, ready? Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Look at that. I'm by myself in the light. Look at that. Oh my God.
A vague figure, distant and partially obscured by the trees, standing motionless as if watching. The sight sends a wave of unease through him. As he continues hiking, the tension only grows. More movement is caught on camera. A person, or what appears to be one, weaving through the forest just out of reach. The figure never approaches, but it never leaves either. It keeps its distance. Always there, always watching. What makes the moment especially disturbing is the silence. No words, no confrontation. Just a lingering, shadowy presence. Though deeply unsettled, Mike eventually makes it out of the forest unharmed. There's no direct interaction, no final twist, but the experience leaves its mark. Encounters like these show that the danger in remote places isn't always supernatural. Whether this was a person hiding in the woods or something harder to explain, it's the uncertainty, the not knowing, that creates real fear. Was it a prank, a drifter, or something else entirely? In a recent upload, the paranormal investigation channels Sorry Taguya and Archaeotica ventured deep into a cemetery, notorious for intense supernatural activity. What begins as a standard night exploration quickly spirals into one of their most unnerving encounters yet.
Oye, ¿escuchas?
A ver, muéstrame tu tumba. Sé que aquí está, ¿por qué te fuiste?
¡Uy! ¡Dios mío!
¿Te dices cuenta?
¿Te golpearon, amiga?
¿De dónde cayó ese palo?
No sé dónde estaba, te lo juro que no miré.
¿Te enojaste, verdad? ¿No te
Ah,
hizo
caray.
perrete?
Sí te golpeó duro, amiga, ¿eh?
Por eso te enojaste, aquí estoy, ven. A ver, ven y hazlo otra vez, ven y hazlo.
Mira, ¿qué es eso, amiga?
¿Qué?
Es una silla. Se movió, ¿eh?
Que está sentada ahí.
A ver, pon una parte abajo, mía, en el puro medio pono.
Hay que bajarla de acá arriba porque tumba. Y grabamos el
Sí, amigo. La vamos a bajar, amigo, porque no queremos problema ahí con la gente del cementerio, amigos.
No, y es que luego dicen que es uno, pues. A ver, aquí estoy, ven. Ven, yo vi que la silla se movió. Yo vi que ahí estabas. Acércate, quiero verte.
The team enters cautiously, flashlights cutting through the darkness. Almost immediately, strange phenomena begin to unfold. Faint laughter echoes across the graves, and a chair positioned near a tomb starts to move on its own, rocking and shifting with no visible cause.
Mira, José se está sumando de acá. Hola.
¡Ay! Acá. ¿Hola? Mira, la silla, mira la silla.
¿Llegaste aquí? ¿Qué quieres? A ver, dime, ¿qué quieres? Acércate.
Ah, caray.
¿No la deja agarrar? Te estoy diciendo que vengas para acá, acércate. ¿Qué es lo que quieres en realidad? Yo te estoy ordenando que ahí te quedes. Quédate ahí sentada. ¿Qué quieres? A ver, si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate en este momento. Yo quiero verte, no quiero que muevas la silla, quiero verte. No quiero que me retes con una silla, quiero poderte ver. Si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate. A ver, muéstrate, quiero verte, acércate. No quiero que te estés escondiendo, ni que te manifiestes agrediéndome, acércate.
Mira. Y a tus pies.
Exactamente, es que está enojada, pues.
The unease intensifies when one of the investigators is struck by an unseen force, seemingly out of nowhere. Attempts to calmly communicate with whatever entity may be present go unanswered. Yet, the atmosphere continues to shift. The chair's movements become more deliberate, as if some invisible force is using it to interact or issue a warning. One team member speculates that the spirit may be female based on the energy and subtle visual impressions. Regardless of identity, it's clear that the entity does not appreciate being challenged.
Cuidado, cuidado. Amigos, somos 656 personas. Apóyenme a compartir, mi gente hermosa. Apóyenme a compartir y distribuir este contenido, amigos. Vamos, sí se puede. Sí se puede llegar a más compartida, ¿cómo de que no, mi amigos? Pues toda... Ah, no manches.
Qué asco.
Pues mira toda la brujería que hay, amiga.
¿Qué?
Hay brujería con cráneo y todo, mira.
Qué asco.
La apesta horrible.
Huele horrible. Eso ya se reventó. Eso ya hizo lo que tenía que hacer, José.
Vean toda la brujería, amigos.
Mira, tiene cocos. Es que la tiran para esta parte porque es parte donde uno no se puede meter a sacarla. Mira, y está el ataúd, José.
Sí, ya todo eso, amiga.
Están los ataúdes.
Hay que grabar más profundo, amiga.
¿Me quito?
No. Pensé que se podía, pero no. ¿Escuchaste?
Sí. ¿Quién está ahí? Hola.
As the investigation progresses, the team uncovers scattered remnants of brujeria, or witchcraft. In concealed corners of the cemetery, they find signs of ritualistic activity: small coffins, animal remains, melted candles, coconut shells, and personal belongings, objects often used in occult ceremonies. Many of these items are hidden in places difficult to access, indicating deliberate concealment and long-term use.
Hola. Hey. ¿Quién pasó, pues?
¿Quién está ahí?
Buenas noches.
José, pero te das cuenta que eso como que voló.
Espérate. No sé qué fue. Hola.
Yo vi que como que voló, José.
¿No será algo en la silla?
Hola.
No, a ver, mueve esa silla para el medio, amiga. Algo de tener esa silla. Porque caminó para acá, para la silla, ¿eh? Ahí déjala, amiga.
¿Estás buscando la silla? ¿La estás buscando? Ahí está la silla. ¿Qué quieres con ella? A ver, ve.
Uy.
Habló, José. Habló. Ahí la tienes, ven. Acércate, ahí está la silla.
Mira. No mames. ¿Miraste?
The sense of being watched never fades. Whispers, distant voices, and fleeting shadows seem to come from every direction. At one point, the team captures what appears to be a shadowy figure briefly sitting in the chair. Though it vanishes quickly, it leaves a lingering feeling that something highly active and intelligent is present.
Oh, un niño. Pues que la verdad ya ni sé, amiga, qué era.
Buenas noches.
Oye, se escucha la
Ya
voz,
está aquí fuera en el cementerio, ¿no te da miedo?
Se escucha la voz,
A ver, aquí estoy, ven, acércate.
Ay.
Acá.
Ay, caray.
Fue aquí. A ver, ¿quién está ahí?
Fue aquí.
Oye, José, como que algo está hablando de acá atrás.
Uy.
A ver, acércate.
Mira.
Se está riendo algo,
¡Ay!
¿Quién
Pasó
está ahí?
ya.
Tiró la silla.
Y tiró la silla. Yo lo miré, estaba sentado en una silla, amiga. ¿Hola? Estaba sentado en una silla, amiga, ¿eh? ¿Hola?
O sea, nos estaba viendo para dónde agarrábamos.
Y agarró para acá.
Lo que sea que esté aquí nos
Hay
estaba
que buscarlo.
viendo, José.
Hay que buscarlo. Oye. Sigue unos golpes.
¿Hola?
Ah, caray.
A ver, aquí estamos.
No, está muy fuerte esto.
Acércate, ¿dónde estás? Hola. No se mira.
Then, during a particularly tense moment, the chair is violently knocked over by an unseen force. The act seems fueled by anger or territoriality, as if the entity is issuing a final warning. Leave. Moments later, the team hears a voice, clear and close, though no one is in sight. Shadows flicker at the edges of their lights, and the oppressive atmosphere becomes nearly unbearable. Recognizing the risk, the investigators make the decision to withdraw. While no one is physically harmed, the psychological impact of the experience is unmistakable. The combination of physical interaction, ritual evidence, and intense energy suggests that this location is not only haunted, but charged by years of unresolved spiritual disturbance. This investigation stands out for how quickly it escalated, from simple communication attempts to physical aggression and the discovery of witchcraft materials. Could this spirit have been conjured or bound by years of ritual practices? Or is it something that has always been tied to the land itself? Do you think this was a real paranormal encounter? Or was it staged for dramatic effect? Either way, if you were there, how long would you have stayed in that cemetery? In one of his most haunting investigations to date, Franco TV ventures high into the Andes Mountains for a solo nighttime exploration that takes a deeply unsettling turn. Recently uploaded, the video documents his journey into a remote area with a long-standing reputation for supernatural legends, ranging from spiritual guardians of the mountains to terrifying creatures like the Wendigo. Situated at altitudes reaching 9,000 to 10,000 feet, Franco braves freezing temperatures to begin his investigation.
And holy shit, this place is amazing. I'm trying to head back into the town. That was eerie. So it begins. I'm gonna see if I could take out my thermal imaging camera and seeing if I could see anything that's alive out here moving, or any cold or hot signatures.
He starts at a shrine dedicated to the Virgin Mary, a site locals believe offers spiritual protection in these dangerous lands. The stillness is overwhelming. Winds cut through the silence, and the cold quickly begins to wear him down.
Chairs? I don't know what this is supposed to be. Sometimes there's like a hidden door. So I want to get my bearings around this area. There's a lot of tombs, a lot of darkness things, so I'm actually kind of spooked out going through here. There is a main entrance up here, and every now and then I keep hearing sounds coming from that creepy little chapel up there. I don't know why. It might be the wind moving it.
Using a thermal imaging camera, Franco scans the frigid terrain for signs of life. The screen remains empty, no heat signatures, no movement, yet an unshakable sense of being watched begins to set in. His path takes him to a decaying bunker, where he finds the door unlocked and scattered signs of former habitation. Socks.
The wind gust is ridiculous out here, but there is this house that I want to check out. Now this house is particularly weird because they left all their belongings inside. And the crazy part is all the belongings are children's clothes. There's just children everywhere. They're dolls and everything. Oh, God, it's so freaking cold. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that in this video. You see? And then you have a whole bunch of clothes, shoes. There's kids' shoes in here too. I looked at my vlog channel and I just found all these clothing that just belongs to random people. These are short pants from another kid.
Chairs, a carpet, and a bench. It's unclear who stayed there, or why. But as Franco investigates further, he hears intermittent sounds from a nearby chapel.
Nope, I'm seeing something. It looks like lights. Turn off my IR, you see it? Oh shit, there's a car. Somebody just came in here. Holy shit. I hope they're not part of the people with the lights. I have been out here for hours and I have not seen a single soul out here. The thing is, this place is really hard to find, so I don't know how the heck they even found their way up here. It is so windy right now. Sorry if my voice sounds muffled.
Initially attributing them to the wind, he soon notices unexplained movement through windows and shadows slipping past doorways. Switching between infrared, thermal, and flashlight modes, Franco attempts to capture clearer evidence. At one point, he catches a dark figure passing in front of a chapel window, a brief, eerie confirmation of his earlier suspicions. The tension deepens as he enters an abandoned house nearby. What he finds is even more unsettling. It's filled with children's clothing, toys, and shoes, all seemingly untouched. The house appears frozen in time, its belongings suggesting sudden abandonment. Suddenly, noises return, scraping sounds from outside and unexplained movement. Then, in the distance, lights appear in a previously dark building. A car arrives, an alarming development, as Franco has not seen another person for hours, and the location is extremely difficult to reach. He observes the vehicle's lights slowly navigating the mountain road, raising questions about who else might be out here, and why. As he monitors from afar,
look at the window. You see? I knew I saw a fucking shadow. I saw the same thing earlier with the GoPro. Oh my God, it's just... Hold on, let me cover the mics. A big breeze just came in. I just saw a black shadow right in front of the window.
he continues to witness strange movements in other buildings. Lights flickering, figures passing behind windows, and shadows slipping through the night. Returning to the house, he spots handprints on the walls, some low to the ground, as if made by children, others appearing desperate or frantic. Then, his camera cuts out unexpectedly. Eventually, he captures one last disturbing sight, a black shadow standing in front of a window, just like the figure he'd seen earlier. Overwhelmed but driven by curiosity, Franco tries to continue, but the combination of unexplainable phenomena and the appearance of unknown people prompts him to end the investigation. This investigation hints at more than just spiritual unrest. It feels as though layers of both supernatural and human mystery are at play. Was the area haunted by its tragic past? Or were the newcomers part of something far more tangible and possibly dangerous? If you found yourself alone in the freezing mountains, with shadows in the windows and strangers arriving unannounced, would you keep going or call it quits? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.
So this is where we found these bones.
Oh, I found something else right here. That's a spine.
What is your name?
And literally I thought he was going in for shelter. Look at that man. He's a freak.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. Approximately 4 years ago, a YouTuber named Florida Johnny Boy uploaded what began as a lighthearted fishing vlog, but it quickly evolved into something far more disturbing. The video was originally meant to be a comedic take on how to fish professionally, but what unfolded instead was a spontaneous exploration through the woods that left Johnny and his companion rattled. The two began their trip in high spirits, joking around while searching for a good fishing spot. However, after finding no suitable place to film, the planned tutorial was scrapped and replaced with a casual forest vlog.
So originally this was going to be a funny video about how to fish professionally. However, I decided against that because there's no real open spots right now that I wanted to actually shoot the video. So this is now a vlog.
Ah! Whoa, look at this. Are these arrowheads? What are these?
Arrowheads? Where do you think it goes?
The spooky forest.
So if you look, this just opened up significantly going this way. Oh my god.
I got you.
Oh my
Look
god.
at my big finger.
Oh my crap. Jesus.
Good?
Nope. If you don't stop with that damn stick.
Yeah! That was scary. Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Look. Those have to be its spores. That's cool.
So we had to double back because we realized that we left everything in the truck. And that's not the best idea, considering anybody at any time, while we're in the middle of the woods here, can just show up and take all of our stuff.
Did you grab your keys?
I have my key. That's where we're heading. Okay, so this isn't even a trail, it's a creek bed. It's still pretty cool though. Minus the spider webs on my face.
As they wandered deeper into the woods, they joked about the location being a spooky forest. With no clear trail to follow, they veered off the beaten path and stumbled upon what Johnny referred to as Pennywise's house. But things took a serious turn when they discovered what appeared to be scattered bones near an overgrown well.
Look, are these like bones? Are these bones? Bro, there's bones! Alright, these are rib bones at the same time.
Those are rib bones.
I'm not okay.
They're all in the well right there.
There's a bunch. don't like this, Dad. Let's just see if there's anything here. Oh.
There's more bones.
No way.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Is that a thigh bone?
So not only did we come across Pennywise's house, we found a bunch of rib bones and what appears to be, look, it's cut right there, right here on this piece. It looks like it was like cut through or something. This is exactly how horror movies start.
Initially unsure of what they were seeing, they examined what looked like rib bones and a potential femur. Some bones appeared clean, oddly cut, or broken in unnatural ways. Johnny remarked that this was how horror stories typically begin, and the atmosphere quickly shifted from playful to tense. Nearby, they found a glass bottle with a perfectly round hole in it.
You ever see a glass bottle? You ever see a glass bottle with a hole in it?
Let me see.
Perfectly like that? Look at that. Huh. I'm really curious as to what kind of bones those are. That bottle just broke. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
It just broke.
Like it was just sitting on the ground.
Yeah. Did you not hear it? I set it down and then I was doing something over there and then I just hear like a crack and... Yo, what?
Like look at this, Dad, look. This is a tendon.
Yeah.
This is too. And look, this looks like it pivots. So I'm pretty sure this is like a fucking...
Yeah, but that's cut.
Yeah. Look at that. That's somebody's fucking leg. That's a fucking knee. I don't know, man. I'm not okay with this though.
Dude, watch this like end up being like that movie, The Ritual.
Oh,
We
no.
start seeing strange carvings in the trees and whatnot.
I would be like, okay, we're going home now.
So that is pretty interesting.
Bizarrely, after setting it down, the bottle suddenly shattered with an audible crack, despite no one touching it. This added to their growing discomfort. As they continued examining the site, they questioned whether the remains belonged to an animal or a person. They noted the precision of some cuts and pointed out tendon-like tissue still attached to certain pieces. The unsettling condition of the bones led them to wonder if they had just stumbled upon something far more serious. Johnny casually mentioned the eerie similarities to scenes from horror films, particularly The Ritual. Despite the unease, the two returned to the location the following day.
So we are heading back to the same place where we found the bones because we want to see whether or not we can find any more kind of in the area. Because they look suspiciously human, especially the rib bones, and it is very difficult to tell when it comes to rib bones anyway. I would rather, say someone did get killed out here, or from, another location or something, and they got dumped out here. And we're back.
Like, I'm in panic mode right now. I'm not okay.
So this is where we found these bones. The other bones were right here. Now the winds are picking up. That's creepy.
Driven by curiosity and a desire to understand what they had found. This time, they brought basic digging tools and continued documenting the site using their camera rig and audio recorder. Back at the same location, they discovered even more bones. This time, the fragments included what resembled a spinal column, tailbone, and more rib sections. The remains appeared to be buried intentionally, suggesting an effort to conceal them.
Found what looks to be the tail end, because that looks like the butt bone.
So it means that it's all under here, whatever it is. Oh, I found something else right here. That's a spine.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a spine.
We're gonna keep working on this. We'll be back.
Oh, this goes deep. Do you see it?
I see it.
this a spine?
Yeah.
But what from?
I don't know. The curious thing as to why it's there of all places. So I'm noticing we're finding all the rib bones right there.
Yeah.
The head's got to be in this area.
Uh-huh. Look, the further back it goes that way, more looks like it's starting to get towards the tailbone, so.
So we have found the rest of the bones. It looks, I don't know, it might be a dog or a deer or something like that. We're not actually 100% sure. And now it's starting to rain on us. So after spending about an hour digging, these are all the bones.
After closely examining the bones, they theorized that the skeleton may have belonged to a calf, or possibly a large dog. The spine didn't match that of a typical coyote or canine, and the exact species remained uncertain. At one point, Johnny left his friend alone momentarily. During that time, a loud crashing sound rang out, prompting his partner to scream for him to return. The sudden noise added another layer of fear to an already bizarre discovery. By the end of the video, they cautiously concluded the remains were likely non-human, possibly from a calf. But even with that possibility, the circumstances, the remote location, partially buried bones, spontaneous bottle breaking, and loud, unexplained noises, left both of them deeply unsettled. Was this simply the remains of a farm animal left behind? Or were the bones intentionally disposed of, suggesting a different story entirely? The precision of the cuts and secluded location raised far more questions than answers. What do you think really happened in those woods? Was it a harmless discovery, or something more disturbing hidden in plain sight? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy real-life mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe. The next video might take an even darker turn. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. In a video uploaded by YouTuber Ray RLC on May 26, 2025, what was supposed to be a calm overnight wildlife recording session turned into something far more unsettling. Ray, known for exploring remote outdoor locations and capturing eerie moments, had chosen a quiet forest trail to monitor animal movement. The area showed fresh animal tracks and little human interference, a perfect spot for observation. Once there, he set up a trail camera facing the path and an audio recorder to capture ambient sounds throughout the night.
Found a deer trail. Look where it goes. So I, parked down that way, walked up here. It keeps going on up there. And I want to look up that way up the trail. So I think the perfect spot would be right here. This good old spot. And just look straight up there, and if any deer come walking by, I'll catch them. So I need to get the trail cam and set it up. And we got her. So here's the trail cam. Got it set up. It's facing over there perfectly. But I've got a nice little treat for you guys. There's the sound recorder. Okay. So I'm going to have the trail cam going. I'm also going to have the sound recorder going. I'm going to listen to the audio first, and then the trail cam, just to see what we hear and then what we see. Because that's kind of the fun. You hear something and then see it later. But this is not going to be motion detected. Because sometimes, especially if it's small, I've got another issue too. I don't know. It's because the thing is, I have the trail cam directly on the trail. Trail cams do best at like an angle. Not like this or like this. At an angle like this. But I have this going straight up. If something's coming right at me, sometimes the trail cam just doesn't want to move for it. It should, but sometimes it doesn't. And so in order to not risk that, instead I'm just going to do a time lapse. I think time lapses are more fun anyways. If something changes but doesn't catch a motion sensor, it'll do that too, and that's why I prefer that. So we're going to get this going. I'll get that going, and I'll come pick these up tomorrow morning.
After finalizing his setup, Ray made his way out of the woods before sunset, encountering only one person along the trail. A brief, uneventful moment that still left him slightly uneasy. The next morning, he returned to find everything intact.
Oh, I think we're in luck. Nope, didn't get stolen. It's still here. Okay. There's my stuff, still here, waiting for me. In the outer quarter, it looks like it turned off. That's okay, it just means the batteries died probably not long ago. So, well, we'll see how much audio we get. It's made so that as soon as the battery dies, or right before the battery dies, it stops the recording and then dies, so you don't get corrupted or lose it. So we'll be okay. We'll see what kind of audio we got, see what kind of video we got. I'm really excited about that. Let's turn these off and take them down.
The audio recorder had shut off, likely from drained batteries, but nothing seemed disturbed. Feeling relieved, he packed up and brought the gear home to review the footage. Most of what he saw was expected. Deer, raccoons, and various small animals captured moving through the night. But one clip left him stunned. The camera had captured a shirtless man crawling across the forest floor in the dead of night. The man held a large axe, had no flashlight, and moved in silence, not stumbling or wandering, but creeping forward with deliberate control. It was a sight straight out of a horror film. The man's behavior raised chilling questions. What was he doing out there at 4 a.m. armed and alone in such a remote location? The fact that he had no visible light source yet moved confidently, suggested he either knew the area well or had a disturbing purpose. Some viewers speculated that the man might have been mentally unstable. Others suspected something darker, perhaps a ritual or a predatory act under the cover of darkness. A few even suggested he was deliberately avoiding detection. The most unsettling part. If Ray had chosen to camp overnight or returned just a bit later, their paths might have crossed. What was that man truly doing in the woods? And who or what was he looking for? In May of 2017, a YouTuber known simply as Robert uploaded his first and only video to the platform. Although it remains the sole piece of content on his channel, the mysterious footage has captured the attention of thousands over the years. What was meant to be a peaceful solo trip into the wilderness turned into something far more unsettling. Robert had ventured deep into the forest, far removed from any signs of civilization. As night descended, the tranquility of the setting gave way to something inexplicable. While sitting alone at his campsite after dark, he began to notice strange flashes of light deep within the surrounding trees. Initially, he assumed they might be insects or distant campers using lanterns. But it soon became evident that these lights weren't typical. Grabbing his camera, Robert began documenting what he saw. Through the lens, the lights became clearer, hovering, flickering, and pulsing in a way that almost suggested they were aware of being observed. They would slowly drift between trees, pause, then freeze mid-air for extended periods. For nearly 15 minutes, Robert recorded the floating orbs as they glided silently through the trees. No voices, no mechanical sounds, and no footsteps were captured in the audio. Only the ambient night remained, undisturbed by anything that might explain what was unfolding. After uploading the video, Robert's footage quickly spread across the platform. While some viewers theorized that the lights could be drones or camera reflections, many felt the behavior shown was too intelligent and measured to dismiss so easily. One comment in particular caught attention. A man claimed that he and his daughter had witnessed similar glowing orbs while hiking in the same forest months prior. According to him, they moved in the same pattern, silent, floating, and vanishing without explanation. Speculation surrounding the footage ranged from spiritual manifestations to interdimensional entities. Some even considered the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. The lack of sound or conventional movement ruled out many natural explanations. No known atmospheric conditions or scientific principles could account for stable, luminous objects hovering low between the trees with that level of control. Even more intriguing is the fact that Robert never returned to YouTube. Despite the video's attention, he never shared a follow-up, never responded to comments, and left the channel inactive ever since. Could this have been a one-time encounter, or part of a recurring phenomenon in that forest, witnessed by more than just one person? Was it simply a coincidence, or did Robert experience something he couldn't fully explain and chose to leave it behind? YouTuber Luke Rock and his crew revisited one of the most chilling places they'd ever explored, an abandoned hospital with a long, dark history. Once used as a tuberculosis sanatorium, later a psychiatric facility, and eventually a rehab center, the building carries heavy emotional and paranormal weight. From the moment they arrive, Luke is aware of the risks, both physical and psychological, associated with entering such a place at night.
Dude, I don't even want to look into the rooms. Look at the lights around in this hallway. Like, that's freaking crazy. Dude, whoa. When I was in high school, I used to come down here. What is up, guys? We are in this crazy hospital again. Guys, it is so freaking scary here at nighttime. I don't even know how to explain it. It's crazy. For one, like, there's like a really good chance that there's somebody else in here with us, because the last time I was here, we found the tent here. You just heard something? And it looked like somebody was sleeping here. So, and the very first time that I was here, I actually heard somebody in here drilling. I'm bumping into stuff. Guys, the very first time I was in here, I actually heard somebody like drilling and probably ripping stuff apart. But the craziest part was actually seeing the tent, like somebody's camping out in here. Yo, is that a moaning sound? Was that a car? Guys, we're keeping the lights down for now. We don't want to be too obvious here. Dude, this is the creepiest hallway. This is like going through Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, no joke. We just came from that way. I'm literally shaking in my boots. I'm scared a little bit. This is crazy. I've done some stupid stuff. This has got to be right up there with some of the stupidest. Guys, this was an old hospital. The electricity's still on. It's like so creepy.
I want to see that room with the one.
Oh, from my other video?
Their visit begins around 3 a.m., with the group entering through the decaying corridors of the hospital. Luke notes how intensely uncomfortable the building feels after dark, especially knowing that on previous visits, he had come across signs that someone may have been living there, including a pitched tent inside. Even more disturbing, he recalls once hearing the sound of power tools echoing through the halls. As they move deeper into the building, their flashlights barely penetrate the dense darkness, and the mood grows increasingly tense. Despite the hospital being long out of use, certain electrical systems still function. Lights flicker, phones emit dial tones, and devices behave in ways that defy logic. During the exploration, Luke conducts several spirit box sessions. The results are unsettling. EVPs come through with clear, chilling responses. At one point, he swears someone is outside the room, and moments later, the camera refuses to focus.
Corbin! Guys, my camera was just freaking off. We're getting crazy EVPs in here. It just said 3, right? Just like clear. Who's here with us? What is your name? What was this hospital used for? Can you tell us what they did in this hospital? Open the door. Huh? What? Open the door. Don't tell me we're locked in here. Oh my god. What idiots, dude. That was really not smart of us. Guys, we almost locked ourselves into this place. Did you say hospital beds? Yeah, across the nuts. My camera will not focus. Dude, I wonder what it was that I...
He also revisits a door that had been locked on previous visits, but now mysteriously stands open. Then, in a crumbling restroom, they discover something that pushes the investigation into truly disturbing territory. What appear to be human teeth resting in an old sink. Some teeth even show signs of cavities and metal dental fillings, indicating they once belonged to real people. From that point on, technical issues escalate.
Guys, oh, I can't see nothing. Why can't I see nothing? There's the blue light. Guys, those look like human freaking teeth. Those are human teeth, dude.
Yeah, I mean...
Turn the light on. Hold on. Yeah, they got freaking cavities in them. Well, I mean, anything could have a cavity, but dude, those are filled cavities.
They look old.
Whose teeth are these?
I don't know. That's weird.
Are you kidding me? That is nasty. Just sitting in a sink.
Batteries drain rapidly. Walkie-talkies begin to activate on their own, and unexplained whispers and footsteps follow them throughout the upper floors. Even as they try to leave the hospital, the noises don't stop. Luke hears one last loud movement echo down a hallway, confirming what they've feared all along. They may not be alone. Many viewers have speculated that the location is either home to squatters or something far less explainable. The human teeth, functioning electronics, and direct EVPs all point toward a deeply active energy still lingering in the building. Some believe this residual energy comes from the building's traumatic history, while others suspect intelligent hauntings at play. Was someone living there, trying to remain hidden in the shadows? Or could the hospital still echo with the voices and energy of its past residents? Let us know what you think in the comments. Would you ever walk those halls after dark? In March 2023, YouTubers Nikolai and Brian documented one of the most harrowing moments of their van life journey while passing through Oklahoma. Known for sharing peaceful travel vlogs and scenic stops across the country, this particular entry took a terrifying turn when they unexpectedly found themselves in the path of a violent storm. Their day began uneventfully as they parked their van near a quiet lake, expecting nothing more than a calm afternoon. However, after checking their phones, they discovered that severe storm warnings had been issued. The area was now under a tornado watch, with high wind alerts escalating rapidly. Locals seemed unfazed. Some even continued walking around the lot casually, but Nikolai and Brian, unfamiliar with tornado-prone areas, quickly became uneasy. With no better option,
but there's a loud tornado thing going. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Alright, why don't you just come down with me?
Here comes the hail. Two eyes. There's a person running. I feel terrible. It's a girl. Is she okay? Y'all, there is a man who went into the convenience store, And literally, I thought he was going in for shelter. Look at that man. He's a freaking... It is not pleasant out there. We're not used to this, y'all, so this is a little scary.
We're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna be okay.
The worst of the storm is coming through, so it's just a little scary to see it coming and then it arriving. I don't know how y'all deal with this all the time. I really do not. The winds are crazy. I've never experienced winds like this.
We don't want them to just stop and pick up again. That means you're in like an eye of a storm.
They decided to remain inside their van and brace for the worst. As ominous clouds gathered overhead, the wind intensified. Soon, emergency sirens filled the air. At one point, Nikolai noticed a young woman sprinting for cover, while another man strolled into a nearby store as if nothing unusual was happening. With limited cell service, the couple relied on updates from Brian's father, who monitored live news coverage from afar. Then, the storm struck. They were located in Norman, Oklahoma when the worst of it hit. Wind speeds exceeded 70 mph. Their van shook violently. Power lines snapped in the distance, debris flew through the air, and rooftops were torn away. It was a scene straight out of a disaster film. After the storm passed, news reports revealed the extent of the damage. Neighborhoods in Norman and nearby towns had been devastated. Homes lost entire upper floors, windows were shattered, and some structures were completely gutted. Miraculously, Nikolai, Brian, and their van were unharmed. Though physically safe, they were emotionally shaken by how close they had come to disaster. As skies cleared, they cautiously returned to their campsite near Lake Thunderbird. While the van had shielded them during the storm, the lingering sense of what could have happened was difficult to shake. Wanting to process the experience and move forward, they later visited a quirky roadside soda shop along Route 66. Inside, they laughed over strange drink names and enjoyed a rare moment of lightness. The storm served as a powerful reminder of nature's unpredictability, especially for those unaccustomed to tornado country. Some viewers suggested that the couple might consider upgrading their weather gear or installing a satellite alert system in their van, something that could provide faster alerts in remote areas with weak reception. Had the tornado shifted even slightly, their van might not have been spared. It's a chilling thought, how thin the line can be between safety and catastrophe. What would you have done in their place? Would you risk staying in the van or try to find shelter on foot? This next story takes us into one of the most unsettling locations featured on the YouTube channel Cursed Urban, hosted by Dan. In this particular investigation, filmed deep inside what Dan's viewers have come to call Skinwalker Forest.
The last time I was at this part of the forest, something threw a stick at me from the darkness. I will link that video down in the description of when that happened, but it was crazy. I was walking down
He returns to an area where he previously had a disturbing encounter. An unknown force once threw a stick at him from the darkness. That moment left a deep impression, and now, after months away, he's back to see if the forest still hides the same energy. From the start, something feels off. The trail, once rugged and overgrown, now appears oddly maintained. The ground looks mulched, the path more walkable. Dan immediately senses the change and notes how it wasn't like this before. As he ventures deeper into the woods under the cover of night, tension builds.
to the right. That's her gunshots. Dude, that's gunshots over there. That's gunshots for sure right over there.
The silence is interrupted by what sounds like multiple gunshots echoing from somewhere within the forest, followed by a distant, eerie scream. Dan tries to locate the source but finds nothing concrete, only darkness and unease. Throughout the night, he uses various paranormal tools like Spirit Talker, which begins generating unsettling messages. Phrases like blood out, shadowy realms, and doppelganger appear. Then, the chilling message, "You can't stay." Whether this was a warning or a threat, Dan couldn't say. The investigation takes him onto private land owned by his friend Todd, whose property borders the forest. Todd has previously given Dan full permission to camp and explore the area. Dan shares that this land has had its share of unexplained activity in the past. But tonight, things are more inconsistent. Switching to a different app yields less interaction. Phrases like, "Let's play a game," pop up with no follow-through. This sudden drop in activity makes Dan question whether the forest is deliberately toying with him. Has his absence changed something? Did the forest grow used to him before, only to now treat him like an intruder again? Eventually, the atmosphere shifts. The spirit communication slows and then stops completely. Dan speculates that either whatever was present lost interest, or perhaps it was just waiting silently, watching. The most alarming message appears late into the night, cryptic references to rituals and a so-called shuffle game, something unfamiliar to Dan. Spirit Talker repeatedly warns against performing rituals, aligning eerily with the earlier scream and gunshots, casting a shadow over the entire investigation. As exhaustion sets in, Dan retreats to his tent, intending to rest before resuming his investigation in the early morning. But when he wakes, everything is quiet. Spirit Talker, Necrometer, and the Spirit Box remain silent. No voices, no words, just stillness. Dan's investigation offers a compelling look at the forest's unpredictability. The early aggression, gunshots, warnings, and strange voices gives way to silence. Was the forest testing him? Or did his long absence change how the entities responded? The recurring theme of rituals hints at something deeper, possibly tied to local folklore or unseen forces still operating within the woods. What do you think caused the forest to go silent? Was it acceptance, a warning, or something far more sinister? Have you ever experienced a place that felt aware of you? Let us know your theories in the comments. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Who is it?
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. There's a channel from Belgium known for sharing raw camping experiences throughout the country, mostly deep within forests and remote locations. The creator often engages in what's called stealth camping, the act of spending the night in places that aren't officially meant for camping. The goal? Avoiding fees or remaining unnoticed. But that kind of strategy comes with its risks. In this particular episode, the camper takes on a challenge in February, setting out to camp in a well-known tourist destination, one that features a walkway and bike path going directly through the water, a bold choice for someone trying to stay hidden.
Hi guys, welcome to another adventure of Boon Like a Camp. Camp Like a Boon. I'm here to do the February challenge, the water challenge set by basic SAM camping, basic stealth samming, basic stealth camping and adventures. Watch his channel. So it's a water challenge, and I picked a spot, a touristic place where people can walk and bike through the water. There are plenty of people walking now, and I have my huge backpack. I fit everything inside it, so no extra bag this time. But I cannot sneak in the place where I want to camp, so I will try the next best thing, and that's to do it more obvious, a bit too obvious. That's also a way of stealth camp. So I will use this stick. If stealthy doesn't work, just go all out. If you look too obvious, they don't expect you to camp.
With his backpack fully packed, no extra gear this time, he heads toward the site. But the original spot he hoped to camp in is too exposed, with many tourists still wandering around.
I'm waiting for the people there to leave. Because, hey, that's a nice bird. What I was saying, I'm waiting for those people to leave, because in that forest behind them is where I'm going to set up camp. They're slowly leaving. They're taking pictures of the swans. Oh, guys, there is my spot.
Instead of sneaking around, he tries a different approach, acting casual and obvious, assuming that if he doesn't look like he's hiding, no one would suspect him of camping. Eventually, he identifies a more private area tucked into the woods. After waiting for people nearby to leave, he quickly sets up camp just as daylight begins to fade.
I'm out of breath, but let me take this off first. I can show you why I picked this spot.
A hammock, a fire, and a modest meal. Everything seems to be going according to plan.
It's now, I think, about 9 o'clock p.m. It's dark for some time. I don't expect many people around here anymore today, because it's Sunday night, Sunday evening, and everybody has to go to work tomorrow. Almost everybody, except me. I have an extra day off, especially for the February challenge. Special shout out to the Stealth Camping Alliance. Cheers, everybody.
But then, not long after darkness settles in, headlights appear, and not from another camper. A vehicle moves slowly through the woods, scanning the area. It's clearly not a coincidence.
We beginnen met een heel val slijt van verboden kwartieren. Ja, gewoon vuurstoken verboden door mijn opleg. Dus we zijn heel gestresseerd of dat vertaald kunnen worden.
So guys, I got busted. I'm packing up my gear. I'm out of here. I have to go to the office. These foresters, they have an own office here at the domain. And they took my passport, they took 2 cameras, and we will see if what will be the verdict. I don't know, but I don't have much time. I have to pack and I have to walk all the way to my car that I parked further away, and I have to drive to their office and all this stuff. So guys, I'm packing in the dark. What a boon adventure this is. Completely boring. Leave no trace, except big tickets. We will see what the future will bring.
Moments later, he's confronted by park rangers. The encounter isn't recorded directly, but what followed was. They escort him out, collect his identification and camera equipment, and request he report to their office. Packing in the dark, he makes his way back to the car. The outcome? He's brought to the police station for questioning. Inside, voices are distorted for privacy, but it's revealed that he's let off with just a warning. No fine this time, but the message is clear. Stealth camping in highly visible or tourist-heavy areas is a serious offense. While this wasn't a paranormal encounter, it does highlight the very real risks that come with stealth camping, especially in areas under surveillance. Choosing to start a fire in a well-traveled public zone was a decision that almost guaranteed attention. It raises the question of whether stealth camping is even viable anymore in such popular locations, or whether it's becoming increasingly impossible with modern enforcement and surveillance. What would have happened if the rangers hadn't been as lenient? Could this quiet camping trip have turned into a legal nightmare? Let us know in the comments. Is the thrill of stealth camping worth the risk, or just asking for trouble in 2025? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Jenna runs a peaceful camping channel known for its relaxing forest content, a refreshing contrast to the darker corners of YouTube, where every video involves some kind of sinister twist. This time, she set out into Crown Land for a simple bushcraft overnight trip. It was just her gear, and the quiet wilderness. Or so she thought.
So I'm out here on Crown Land, and I'm going to do a little bit of a bushcraft camp out today. I have my backpack with my sleeping kit and my cooking kit. I have my tarp and some pegs, and I have the forest all to myself. I brought my buddy Herb with me to keep me company. You might remember Herb from our bike tour on the Icefields Parkway. He's going to be keeping me company while I'm out here alone in the woods. The river's definitely not frozen yet, so I'm walking over these logs to get across because there's a couple dead trees over there that I'm looking at taking down.
Her plan was straightforward: a solo night in the woods, complete with shelter building, a tarp setup, and some forest cooking. The weather was perfect, the area was remote, and she brought along her stuffed companion from a past trip as company. She began collecting dead logs, crossing the river carefully, and putting together a small makeshift shelter. Nothing unusual for her content. Everything was calm.
I'm basically just tying a clove hitch around the pegs before I nail them into the ground. And then popping some rocks on top of the peg just to seal it in. Cute. So this is it from the back. The weather's supposed to be beautiful tonight. We don't have any wind or rain or anything on the forecast, so this should work just fine. This is it from the inside. I want to get Herb all cozy in there.
But during her scouting earlier that day, a man in a white SUV had pulled up nearby and stared in her direction before driving off. She didn't think much of it at first. Then, while she was setting up camp, the same vehicle returned, and again, the driver sat in his car, watching. No words were exchanged, and again, he drove away. It was unsettling, but she stayed. That changed when he came back a third time, parked near her camp, and silently stared once again before leaving. At that point, Jenna didn't wait around. She threw everything back into her pack, not neatly, just fast, and got out. Her only goal was to get back to her van and leave before the situation escalated.
I'm not even taking the time to pack up nicely because I just want to get out of here. Okay, goodbye to the campsite that once almost was. I don't think I left anything. Barely got everything in my bag because I didn't fold everything properly. I'm just trying to get out of here. I have half my stuff in my food bag. It's gonna be okay. He's not here right now. This is where he pulled out to, and he literally took a look at me and turned around and pulled out. But I know it was the same car. It was like a white SUV with a bag over the back of his window, and he turned around and I saw that same bag. So yeah, I'm fucking out of here. Even if that guy didn't mean any harm and he was just trying to camp here, I don't like when somebody knows where I'm camping when I'm by myself. I want to be hidden and unseen, and I don't want some man to know that I'm alone in the woods. I'm coming back to my van. Okay, back of the van. That was a mad dash. Luckily it's not dark out just yet, so I'm gonna head home. I don't like driving in the dark, but even in the van, I don't really want to sleep out here.
She didn't want to stick around to find out whether the man had back. She drove away before nightfall, shaken but safe. Even if the man in the SUV was simply curious or considering the same camping area, his behavior was undeniably strange, showing up 3 separate times and never interacting. It may have been innocent, or it may not have been. But when you're alone, especially in an isolated forest with no cell service, the risk of being targeted is very real. This story serves as a reminder. If something feels off, it probably is. What if she had stayed the night? Would he have returned again, maybe under the cover of darkness? Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this just a strange coincidence, or something far more dangerous? Nathan is an avid mountain biker who spends his time racing through forest trails at high speed. Recently, he began working on his own trail, carving it out with care, cleaning it up, and sharing progress online. For a while, things were going smoothly, until something strange began happening. Each time he returned, new hazards would appear. Logs dragged onto the trail, large rocks moved into the path, and even ropes strung low across sharp bends, any of which could cause a serious crash at high speed. It felt deliberate. Someone was targeting the trail. But Nathan didn't know who. Not yet. The pattern continued for days. He'd fix the trail, only to return and find it sabotaged again. Eventually, he decided to investigate.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What the hell do you think you're doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
We fucking live here.
Okay, do you know where my shovel is?
Yes, I do.
If I have it, I'll leave it. I'll flatten it all down.
You better bloody flatten it down and you better stop coming here. Can I ask if you have the authority of the landowner?
I haven't built this.
Do you have the authority of the landowner?
No.
Right.
No, I don't.
I
But
suggest you go.
you're on record. This is for my safety and your safety. If I get my shovel back, I will not come back here. Show my shovel and my saw.
I don't know where they are. They're on the way. Stop.
Where did you put them? Did you throw them down there?
And you're on my bloody phone.
No, look, it's fine. Do you know where my shovel is?
It's down one of the banks.
Well, that's fine then. I just wanted to know.
And go and find it. And it's appropriate to actually make that.
I didn't build this.
Right.
All I've done is I've cleared it out. No, look. I've got videos. This was built years ago.
No, it was not.
I've got videos.
We live here.
Do you want me to get the videos?
No, we live here. We've been coming up here for years. This is not. Yeah, this is.
All I've done is I've cleared it out so I can ride it back.
How far you've travelled to be here?
I'm not telling you where I live.
Oh, right.
But not very far.
I don't think.
So is it down there then? Because if it is, I'll go look for it.
If it's not, if you've not built all this, why have you got stuff in here?
I was going to go take it up to another trail. I've got permission to build up there.
Where?
Over at the other side near the quarry.
From who?
The people who own it.
And who's that?
I don't know his name, but he works for the quarry. Honestly.
If you hit one of us or one of those dogs on your damn bike, you would be in prison, not me.
Well, I'm not going. Do you want me to flatten it?
Yes.
Right.
And we'll come back this way to see what makes progress.
Yeah, that's fine. So, my shovel's down there.
On one particular day, his camera caught the culprits in the act. 2 local women were seen interfering with the trail, not just moving debris, but actively setting up obstacles that could injure anyone biking through. When confronted, the exchange became tense. The women claimed they lived nearby and had every right to be there. They accused Nathan of endangering others by riding too fast, and dismissed the idea that what they were doing was dangerous. Nathan, trying to stay calm, explained that the trail had been carefully maintained, and that any obstructions could seriously injure someone, especially on downhill runs. He requested the return of his missing tools, which had apparently been tossed into the woods. The conversation spiraled into accusations about land ownership, legal authority, and safety concerns. And if someone else had come through, unaware of the danger, the result could have been catastrophic. While bikers do need to ride responsibly, what if a child had decided to try that trail? Or a new rider following Nathan's videos? Is sabotage ever justified in the name of protecting nature? Or is it simply reckless endangerment hiding behind moral excuses? Let us know what you think in the comments. Alex, a photographer based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, often explores forgotten places, from underground tunnels to abandoned towns, capturing gritty, atmospheric shots of decay and isolation. On November 26, 2024, he uploaded footage from one of his latest solo trips, this time to Yeso, a nearly abandoned ghost town in eastern New Mexico. Like many of his adventures, the day was spent walking through empty streets, capturing images of crumbling structures, and appreciating the eerie silence of a place long forgotten. For Alex, solitude was part of the appeal. As the sun dipped below the horizon, he decided to park his camper van in the middle of town.
Deserted, so there's no one around. Some houses located on the outline area, on the outskirts of this town, maybe like 4 or 5. But other than that, you know, I'm pretty much surrounded by, the heater came down, scared the hell out of me. Surrounded by just houses that are a ghost town. So let me show you. I'm having some pozole that I warmed up on the stove, and then give you a little bit of a tour. I have all the lights on. I have all the windows closed, including there's a curtain for the front that closes. This is the restroom here and the shower, and then like I said, I have the windows closed. That's all, the windows are closed.
Far from any main road, far from anyone. Or so he thought. After cooking a quiet dinner and giving a brief tour of his van setup, Alex settled in for the night. With all the windows covered and the interior warmly lit, it felt safe, even peaceful. The remoteness brought comfort in its own way. After all, what were the odds of someone stumbling upon a van in a town with no residents?
So anyways, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay? Bye.
Okay, guys. Something woke me up. I heard, I think, sounded like footsteps. I'm not sure if that's what woke me up. I put on my pants and my shoes, just for in case I was asleep. I got all my windows closed. I got this light here, but I don't know if they can see it. But I suddenly heard footsteps. Something woke me up. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, fuck. Just for in case. Oh, shit, I heard the footsteps again. Looks like they went to the back. What the fuck? Okay, somebody's definitely outside. I don't think I'm gonna stay here. Honestly, I end up shooting somebody. Fuck.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? There's somebody inside.
Son of a bitch. I don't even know if I'm gonna go outside.
Who is it?
Fuck it. Fuck it.
I'm coming outside, man.
Sometime after falling asleep, he woke suddenly. A noise, something that sounded like footsteps, had stirred him from his rest. Not entirely sure what he'd heard, he got up and listened closely. Then he heard it again. The sound circled around the van. Soft, deliberate movement. Someone, or something, was outside. But that comfort didn't last. He stayed still, listening. Then came a knock, and then another. Whoever was outside wasn't announcing themselves. They weren't speaking, just walking, knocking, waiting.
Just so you know, I'm armed. I'm opening the door. Who's there?
I don't see anybody.
The tension was unbearable. Grabbing a flashlight and preparing himself for the worst, Alex made a decision. Instead of waiting to see what would happen next, he opened the door and stepped outside. No one was there. Whoever it was had vanished into the night. Rattled and completely on edge, he didn't waste time. Within minutes, Alex packed up, started the van, and drove off, heading towards somewhere with lights, noise, and maybe even people. He never found out who was outside that night. It could have been someone passing through, a drifter who noticed his van and decided to investigate. Or maybe a prankster, someone watching from the shadows to scare a lone camper. But there's also the unsettling possibility that it wasn't a person at all. When you're that far off grid, even normal things can feel supernatural. But unexplained knocking, footsteps, and complete silence after confrontation? That raises more questions than it answers. What would have happened if he hadn't woken up? Or if he hadn't spoken up and mentioned being armed? Do you think it was just a curious stranger? Or something more disturbing hidden in the dark? Let us know what you believe. Because in ghost towns like Yeso, the silence might not mean you're alone. This unsettling moment was uploaded on March 16, 2022, by the YouTube channel Bigfoot Testimony. The footage captures a winter getaway. A group of friends had rented a secluded cabin to celebrate the Christmas holidays, surrounded by snowy wilderness. The mood was calm, cozy, exactly the kind of peaceful retreat people imagine when escaping the city for a few days. But that calm atmosphere didn't last.
Fuck it out. Oh, okay. It's not an animal, is it? Hang on.
While out for a casual hike through the surrounding forest, the group experienced something they couldn't explain. Out of nowhere, a loud, unnatural sound echoed through the trees, powerful and disorienting. Whatever it was, it didn't resemble any animal they were familiar with. The moment was captured briefly on video, but no context or follow-up was provided. There's no footage of what happened next, no footage of them returning to the cabin, no explanation from the people involved. And that silence is what made it more disturbing. Speculation among viewers was immediate. Some believed it could have been a geological phenomenon, tectonic plates, comments, because in remote places like this, sometimes the scariest part isn't what you see, it's what you hear. Ben, the creator behind 401 Files, is widely recognized for exploring the strange and unexplained, from eerie phenomena to ancient legends. His passion for solo camping and wilderness adventure often leads him into places where the line between reality and mystery begins to blur. On September 27, 2023, Ben set out once again, accompanied by his loyal dog Lily, to the North York Moors National Park in England. The region has long been considered a hotspot for unexplained occurrences, including sightings of figures, mysterious lights, and sounds with no source. For Ben, that reputation made it the perfect place to investigate, especially after dark.
You know, as with a lot of the places that I explore, throughout the day it's a beautiful location. There's not really much here now that is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Like, there's nothing here giving me a bad vibe. The hair isn't standing up on the back of my neck for any reason. It's just genuinely a beautiful location. But as we all know here on the channel, these locations, these hotspots for strange phenomena, take on a different character altogether after nightfall. Now, I'm not suggesting that things can't happen and people can't have experiences here throughout the day, because they can. And in fact, most of the things that come from this area, most of the report, do happen throughout the day. But I just feel like exploring and investigating in any location after nightfall makes the task that much easier, because it eliminates straight away a lot of human and man-made things that we might hear or see. After nightfall in this location, there should be really no real reason for anybody to be here other than me.
As he explored the area in daylight, nothing felt unusual. The landscape was open, beautiful, and quiet. There was no sense of danger, just the peace that often comes with remote locations. But as the sun began to fade, Ben prepared for what he'd truly come for: a night investigation near the ruins of an ancient Roman fortification. The site, once part of a fortified outpost over 2,000 years ago, had long been tied to strange reports, shadow figures, whispers in the dark, and a lingering sense of being watched. Ben set up camp nearby and headed toward the ruins before darkness took full hold. His goal was simple: to see if anything unusual would happen in a place once alive with military presence, but now empty and forgotten. Then something strange occurred.
It's just there's so many coincidences happen after that.
I keep looking in, I keep checking in with Lily just to make sure that she's not picking up on anything, and right now she doesn't seem like she's alert. She's alert. Is that Someone shouting? What the hell is that?
As he walked the grounds, a distant voice echoed through the moorland. It sounded like a person, but in such isolation, that possibility felt unlikely. He couldn't tell where it came from. Was it a real person, or something mimicking one? Despite the uncertainty, Ben stayed focused.
It would be so cool to hear something of that era, something that I could identify as being out of place. For example, the sounds of wooden wheels of a horse cart or something like that. You know, that just wouldn't be something that you'd hear up here, especially with it being on grass. So if I heard that, that would definitely be out of place. The sounds of chainmail or horses would also be out of place. It's actually a lot darker than it's appearing on the camera. On the camera it looks quite light, so I think that the camera must be working overtime to expose me correctly. Whereas here in real life, it's much, much darker. It's crazy to think that I'm near.
He began an EVP-style session, quietly asking questions into the darkness in hopes of a response. He called out to whatever, or whoever, might remain in this ancient place, but no clear sign came back.
If there is any Roman soldiers that were stationed in this barracks, that served here for any length of time, that wishes to communicate, please step close to the device held in my hand. If that was you that stepped close to the device in my hand, could you please do this again? Was you a Roman soldier here? Make the lights on the device go up to indicate that you was. Was you stationed here as a Roman soldier?
As the evening deepened, he monitored Lily's behavior. She was alert, watching, listening, but not afraid. That alone kept him grounded. Eventually, with no more activity and the temperature dropping, Ben returned to camp. The voice he heard earlier still echoed in his thoughts. The sound could have been anything: wind, a bird, or even another camper just beyond view. But given the location and Ben's isolation, it's hard to explain. Some believe remnants of traumatic or powerful human experiences, like those at ancient battle sites, leave impressions behind. Others suggest it might have been a phenomenon known as residual energy, events replaying like echoes caught in time. But another possibility remains, that it wasn't human at all. What if something was trying to communicate that night? Not with words, but presence. Was it coincidence? A trick of the ear? Or did Ben unknowingly step into something far more ancient and far less human? Let us know what you believe, because in places like this, silence doesn't always mean you're alone. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.
Something bad's happened, obviously.
They just went in here. See it?
Shh. Okay, alright. Okay.
Before we jump into today's video, we've got some exciting news to share. We've hit 5,000 subscribers in less than 10 days, and we couldn't have done it without you. Our team is incredibly grateful for all your support. Please keep the feedback coming so we can continue improving the quality of our videos. Thank you for being part of this journey. Our next goal, 20,000 subscribers, as fast as possible. If you have any content ideas or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And now, let's get into today's video. On June 23rd, 2025, a popular YouTube channel known for its lighthearted travel content took an unexpected and unsettling detour. What began as a casual birthday gift hunt for the creator's mother quickly spiraled into a tense situation involving Arson, a mysterious man, and a frantic late-night evacuation.
Extremely important mission like no other. Unless, of course, somebody's done a mission that's similar before, then it's a mission like another. But anyway, we're on a mission. We've got to get down to the Kent coast. In fact, I might be lying about that. I think it might be East Sussex. Either way, we're going down to Rye. I've put the location into the sat-nav, so without further ado, let's let this mission commence, albeit extremely slowly. Well, I haven't come as far as Rye because I looked on the map and parking there seemed like a bit of a nightmare. There's height barriers on all the car parks. So we're in a place now called Winchelsea, or we're near Winchelsea anyway. I think we're on the way there. We should be there in 1 minute. And because the antique shop is going to be shut today already, I'm thinking we're just going to rock up here, have some dinner, which is something I've never had before, by the way, and then from there we can go on to this shop in the morning. I found this one here. I don't know if I trust it. Is it wide enough? Far enough from the danger of the road? I reckon it probably is, right? I think actually I might spin around and go a little bit further back up the road. The ones up there, whoa, I'm stacking it. The ones up there are more like spaces just for one vehicle, and I'd rather, just in case we get loads of visitors. Quite, it's a bit windy out here, but I thought I'd show you these sheep and the view before we head back. Look at that. But yeah, also this one here is on a little bit of a wonk. So let's get back in the van, spin it around, and I'll go to one of the spots that I saw further up there. Alright, this one here seems better and a little safer. Plus we do also have some sheep over this side as well. So let's drop the anchors and prepare to live.
The plan had been simple. Drive to the historic town of Rye, explore local antique shops, and find a one-of-a-kind gift. But after struggling with parking restrictions in town, the creator instead decided to stop near Winchelsea Beach for the night, a quiet spot surrounded by sheep fields and coastal views. It seemed perfect. After parking in a secluded lay-by, the night was peaceful. He cooked dinner, admired the view, and prepared to sleep. But things took a sudden turn when he noticed a van pull into the same lay-by, unusually close, despite there being plenty of space elsewhere. Moments later, a man sprinted past his camper, breathing heavily. Then came the smoke. A glow appeared down the road. Flames began rising into the night sky.
I'm so confused about what's going on outside, right? Look at this. What is that? It looks like smoke coming out. Right, hold on a second. This is bad. Right, some lorry was just outside mine. Or just out the front. I swear that's a fire. That is not clouds. What is happening? It is. What is happening? Right, so I'm trying to film me at the same time as filming the fire up there. Something bad's happened, obviously. I know who it was because there was someone on my CCTV. It was all a bit weird. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I'm going to go speak to this bus driver. I'm just going to go spin my van around in case someone comes back and does that to my van, because it was, someone's done that.
It has looked like it has been done.
Well, it has been done because the geezer just ran past me, jumped in his motor and sped off that way. Right, someone set fire to the van that's just down the road behind me, and it was the person who was parked in front of me. I'll explain more in a minute, but I need to move my van in case they're going to do it to mine as well. Obviously, I'm no longer going to be staying here, but the old Bill, they're going to want to talk to me about this. I can see a flashing light up near it, so that's obviously some sort of traffic control coming along.
What had started as a peaceful layover became a crime scene. One of the nearby vehicles, likely the van that had arrived earlier, was now engulfed in fire. As the blaze intensified, traffic stalled and fire crews rushed to the scene. The YouTuber quickly repositioned his van to avoid being too close, fearing the fire could spread or that whoever was responsible might return. He stayed on site, documenting the event and awaiting police response. From the safety of a distance, he watched the vehicle burn until there was nothing left but its frame.
The camper van is fully ablaze behind me there. This is no joke. We've got a massive tail of traffic all down here. I can hear the fire engine in the background making its way up. This is not good. Apologies, I know you won't be able to see much on my camera right now, but I'm walking up the little ramp up onto the wall of the beach, and I can't see anything. Where's my torch? Now I'm just going to walk along the top. I was going to see if I could see it a bit better from up here. It looks like they've already put it out, to be honest. I've just been chatting to those guys, probably been about 10 minutes now since that fire engine turned up. There's no old bill, which is surprising. Just walking a bit closer to it now. You can see the fire engine's just down there. The camper van is now in ashes on the floor. It's been completely burnt out. You can see the guys just down there spraying the last bits to make sure it's fully out. But that is the end of one vehicle. I guess I've got to wait for the police to turn up, because if I leave the scene, they're going to think it's suspicious. But other than that, I don't know what to do. Obviously, I'm not going to sleep here for the night now. It sounds like it might have been targeted on that particular van because it's been sat there for ages, apparently. But you never know, it could have been just a random camper van burn. And the thing is, if he decides to do it again, if he's some nutter and he comes back, I don't particularly fancy going up in flames tonight when I'm asleep.
Reviewing dashcam footage the next morning, things became clearer. The man who had run past his van earlier had approached the beach with a bag, appeared to set something down, then moved toward the targeted caravan. Shortly after, the fire erupted. The man then returned, watched from afar, and fled the scene. His face remained hidden, and his license plate was never visible. But the implication was obvious. This wasn't an accident.
So let's just talk you through this on the actual timeline of exactly how things happen from my point of view. So first of all, obviously, as you saw, I made the world's most glorious toasty. And then after that, I actually made a second one off camera because I just wanted to enjoy the pure goodness to myself. And whilst I was eating that, I heard an out-of-breath man running past my van. It sounded like he was in a rush, right? In fact, no, let's back up a bit before that. When I was eating my second toasty, I looked up on the CCTV and I saw a van just parked up in front of me. Now, bear in mind that I'd chosen to park in this particular lay-by because it's a small one. Now, some of these lay-bys up here are absolutely massive. There's other small ones as well, but there's plenty of them, right? So I thought, if I park there where that car was, that's where we were, no one's going to come into this spot because there's just no need for it. And whilst I was eating, I looked up on my CCTV, like I said, and I saw a van was parked there. Now, I was going to get out of the van and make a joke about it. I was going to say, how dare they park in my driveway and all this, just for a laugh. But before I had a chance to do that, I was finishing my food, and like I said, this geezer ran past the van that way and up here. Now, as soon as I heard his footsteps running and panting past my van, I looked up on the CCTV. I was like, what's all that about? Why is someone out for a run at this time of night? But I saw that he jumped straight into his van and sped off, which I thought was a bit weird, and I was wondering why. But in my head, I just come to the conclusion that maybe he'd been caught short. He needed the toilet, and he'd run up onto the beach, done his business, and then he jumped back in the van and just carried on his journey. So I looked back on the camera, and I saw a light on the front camera and a light on the rear camera, and I thought it was just headlights coming down the road. One of them was a bus that was coming down this road here. That's the bus that you saw last night. And the other light was up there, which turned out to be the fire, but at the time I thought it was another headlight coming down.
Whether it was a personal vendetta or a random act of vandalism, it highlighted a terrifying possibility. Had the wrong van been chosen, the outcome could have been very different. Was this a targeted attack, or just a random act waiting to happen to anyone nearby? What would have happened if he hadn't checked his cameras in time? Or worse, if he'd been inside the van that was chosen? Let us know what you think, because when you're parked alone, even in a dreamlike coastal setting, danger might be closer than it seems. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Julian and Sven, two travelers behind the Travel Tellers channel, have spent years exploring the world. Alongside their dog Felix and a vintage van named Daisy, they've crossed over 60 countries, embracing a life filled with freedom, spontaneity, and discovery. They've hitchhiked, couch surfed, and now live full-time on the road, but nothing in their past travels prepared them for what unfolded on the Mediterranean coast of Italy. It began with a short walk, a break for lunch. But within minutes of leaving Daisy parked near the shoreline, everything changed. Just moments after stepping away, a security alert came through.
Okay, so the door was closed.
It was like that.
There was a cover.
And Yeah, there was a cover and I saw immediately center pedal was lying down there. We didn't do that. And we left the cover there. And then I saw, look at the locks. The sliding door can't be opened anymore. It's blocked. I don't know. This one, I locked it before and it's open. They just went in here. We left the chaos like this kind of, but not exactly like this. So they threw this thing over there and they took out the stand-up pedal and then they grabbed
everything they could.
Everything they could.
So my handbag was down here. Luckily there's nothing important basically in my handbag. My handbag is a trash bag. But
except our passports.
There were our passports and Felix vaccination and travel pet passport inside. So this is gone, but this is just paper. We're in Europe, it doesn't really matter. We can cross the borders with our ID cards, and for Felix, he will be fine, no one will check it, it's okay. Not even my wallet was in there. A few days ago I put it somewhere else and I forgot about it. Oh, luckily, because otherwise the cards would be gone.
Your ID?
My ID, yeah. This is what I need to travel in Europe. Yeah, so from here only my handbag is missing.
The door is not broken, they just like climbed inside the car from the other side and grabbed everything they could, and unfortunately, I already saw it, our camera is gone. And oh my god, it's...
Our full camera bag.
My full backpack with all the camera stuff inside is gone. Drone is gone.
The
like
camera.
All of our, the camera, the lenses and our memory cards.
At first, they weren't alarmed. The system had triggered false positives in the past. But this time felt different. When they rushed back to the van, panic set in. The locks were damaged. The sliding door wouldn't open. Something wasn't right. Inside, it was clear. Someone had broken in. Belongings had been tossed around. Bags were missing. And most devastating of all, their primary camera gear, drone, and memory cards had vanished. This wasn't just equipment. It was their livelihood. How they documented the world, told stories, and supported their journey. The estimated loss? Over $6,000. And none of it was insured. Yet even in the chaos, there were small graces. The intruders had missed some essentials. A laptop, a backup camera, and a pouch filled with SD cards remained, likely buried beneath layers of clothes and clutter. It's assumed the break-in was cut short. A nearby family had shown up just moments after the alarm sounded. Combined with the blaring of the van's alert system, it was likely enough to send the thief fleeing before they could search further. The couple reported the incident to local police, helped by Italian bystanders. Officers were kind but realistic. The perpetrators were likely long gone. This type of theft was quick, practiced, and rarely caught. There were clues suggesting the robbery had been planned. A car had been idling nearby when they arrived. A young couple sat inside, possibly acting as a lookout. The timing was too precise. Within minutes of Daisy being left alone, the break-in happened. The thief moved fast, likely entering through the passenger side and grabbing everything they could reach before vanishing. Was this a random act, or were they being watched all along?
Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. This is very, very bad. We wanted to go to the restaurant and...
Just 5 minutes from here.
Exactly. And then we saw when we left, there was a car standing on the street and it was just like standing right at the point where Daisy is, and they were just standing there and looking at the car, I guess.
It was a young couple.
Yes, it was a young couple. Later on we saw it was a young couple, but because it was standing there, I turned on the security system. So I turned it on, and like 1 minute after it says it's turned on, I got a notification on my watch that it detected like someone breaking into the car. And it never did that before, so we knew it's serious. So I immediately ran back to Daisy. At first I saw like everything looked good, all the windows are still there, not broken into, and I saw something under the bus and it was the stand-up pedal, and I immediately thought, okay, that wasn't us, someone was inside the bus. And luckily there was a couple standing next to our car which just was getting ready to go to the beach, and they were Italians, and I asked them if they saw anything. They said no, there was just a family leaving the place. I also saw it, like a family with 2 children calmly driving off, but I guess they didn't do anything. Probably the thieves or the thief probably left because the family came, or like the other cars came.
And our
security system was ringing all the time.
Wee wee wee.
Yes. And I asked them if they could help us, like calling the police. I called the police, and luckily they talked to them and explained what happened in Italian.
More than the financial damage, it was the feeling of violation that struck hardest. Daisy wasn't just a vehicle, it was their home. To know strangers had rifled through it while they were steps away left them shaken. What if they hadn't returned when they did? What else could have been taken? Or worse, what if they'd walked in mid-robbery? Was this just bad luck, or something targeted and planned? Let us know what you think, because for those living on the road, the line between freedom and vulnerability is thinner than it seems. On June 25, 2025, YouTuber Thomas Locke uploaded what he called a milestone moment, his first fully solo wild camp in the woods. Unlike his usual content, this video felt more intimate, more vulnerable. He chose a woodland spot on private land, secured with permission, hoping the controlled environment would provide a balance of isolation and safety. The plan wasn't about testing survival limits. It was about learning to be okay with solitude, building tolerance as he described it.
Now I appreciate this isn't like wild camping. I imagine a lot of people are thinking, oh well, this is just car camping. At a certain point, all you're doing is car camping. And that's true, but what I need to do, and I've said this a few times recently, is build up this like tolerance to camping, where I know that I'm going to get a good night's sleep. I know I'm not going to get freaked out by the sounds in the night. This is a perfect spot, by the way. This is literally a perfect spot. The car's just there. A bit lame, but this is a good spot. I've got to build up that tolerance. I've got to get used to the sounds of the woodland in the night, and knowing that I'm in a safe place, I have permission to be in, is going to help with that, for sure. Because you see what happened with the, and I felt like I was being watched, and I felt like I wasn't welcome, whereas I know I could be being watched. I haven't got to worry about anything like that.
The evening unfolded calmly. Thomas set up near his parked vehicle, pitched his tent, and eased into a live stream with his followers. He acknowledged the nerves, but things felt manageable. He was in a good place mentally, or so it seemed.
Righto, that's the live stream done. Not bad at all. Shout out to Ian for the super chat, £5, what a legend. And that'll be available to watch as well if you want to catch up with all that. It was a lot of nonsense. I had some absolute freaks in my chat tonight. It's starting to get dark, so I think, I mean it's not, like it's still bright out, like you can see the sky is still bright. But I think I'm gonna head into bed. The darker it gets, the more panicky I'm gonna be, but there's no reason to be.
I won't lie. I'm not feeling it. Fuck me. Oh god, I just saw a tree. And for a second there, I thought, oh god, it looked like a creature, man. My brain recognised it as that. And then I turned away and then I looked back and then it probably processed it. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling it, boys. If I get into my tent and just chill out and calm my nerves down, I'll be fine. I literally came off the live stream, looked around.
But once the live stream ended and the sun dipped behind the trees, the familiar comfort of visibility vanished. He began second-guessing the shapes in the darkness. A tree trunk at first registered as something else entirely, his mind interpreting it as a figure standing nearby.
I'll chill out for a little bit, see how I feel. I need to get over it, man. I need to get over it. It's as simple as that. Persevere.
That's what I wanted. Monk chat going crazy. I'm chilling out though. I'm glad that I caught that sort of moment of like doubt on camera. It's very hot. I'm gonna stick it out. That would be a terribly freaky noise if I didn't know what it was.
He laughed it off, at first. But then came the sound. As he began drifting towards sleep, a piercing shriek tore through the stillness. Something that sounded eerily human. His body reacted before his brain could process it, shooting him upright in a panic. It happened again. And again, for over 20 minutes. Eventually, Thomas realized it was likely a muntjac deer, a small species known for its disturbing, almost human-like call. But even with that knowledge, the psychological effect had taken hold. The mood had shifted. The peace was gone. No longer able to relax, sleep became impossible. Every crack of a twig, every whisper of wind felt amplified, as though something unseen was drawing closer. After trying to wait it out, Thomas made the call to leave, not in fear, as he later explained, but in exhaustion, in knowing that staying meant no rest, no calm, only tension. He packed up quickly, the way many wild campers instinctively do when they feel something is off. No lingering, just a quiet retreat into the safety of the road. It's easy to dismiss moments like this as overreactions, misinterpreting natural sounds in an unfamiliar setting. But the psychological weight of true solitude can be overwhelming. And the muntjac's call, known to sound disturbingly like a woman in distress, is infamous among night hikers and campers in the UK. But even when we rationalize what we hear, our bodies often refuse to settle. Instinct doesn't always wait for evidence. Was it really just a deer? Or could something else, older, quieter, and better at hiding, have been watching from the trees that night? Let us know what you think. Because in the deep woods, what starts as fear of the unknown sometimes becomes the sense that something unknown is afraid. You've noticed it. In a 30-second clip recorded on February 29, 2012, a simple woodland outing turns into something far more chilling. Captured by content creator Nathan Arnold, the footage shows him and his young son exploring a quiet, wooded area. What begins as a peaceful walk quickly descends into panic, not because of anything loud or aggressive, but because of a silent presence standing in the distance.
You don't see that?
I don't see anything. What is that?
You see it?
Yeah. What is that? Gosh.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
While walking along a forest trail, the two suddenly freeze. Something has caught their attention ahead. Something unusual. The camera briefly focuses on a tall, dark figure positioned deeper in the woods. It appears to be cloaked in a long black garment, its silhouette still but imposing. The image quality is poor, making it difficult to identify specific features, but the figure's height, posture, and appearance immediately trigger alarm. Nathan's voice drops to a whisper. His son confirms that he sees it too. There's no confrontation, no attempt to get closer, just a shared instinct to leave, fast. The footage shakes as they retreat, the fear in their movements and voices unfiltered and real. Whatever it was, it stood there, unmoving, watching. Though the video is short and the image blurry, the impact is undeniable. Some viewers have speculated that the figure could be a cryptid, possibly a Bigfoot. Others suggest a person in costume, but the authenticity doesn't lie in the visuals. It lies in the reactions. There's a rawness in the way Nathan and his son respond. The quiet dread, the urgency to get away. It's the kind of reaction you don't fake. And that's what makes it disturbing. Not what's seen, but how it makes people feel. What would you do if you saw something like this with your child, standing silently in the woods? Was it someone lost, someone hiding, or something else entirely? Let us know what you think, because when you're deep in the forest, it's not always what you hear that should worry you. The creator behind Project Darkwood is no stranger to remote exploration. But in a video posted on their channel, the tone shifted from cryptid curiosity to something far more unsettling. After receiving an email from a landowner claiming repeated encounters with a semi-aggressive creature on his remote property, Don accepted an unusual invitation to camp overnight in the heart of these woods and see what might show up.
Welcome to Project Darkwood. My name is Don, and I'm disgusting. I've been hiking for like 8 miles, and I'm sweaty. But basically what has happened is this guy contacted me through my email and said that he has a big piece of land that allegedly he has had multiple encounters with a semi-aggressive Bigfoot on. And he asked if I wanted to come check it out. And I was like, in what context? And he said, if you want, you can spend the night and, you know, camp out and see what happens. And I said yes. So here I am, I'm on his property, I got my camp set up right now. I had to hike into the middle of it. I wanted a good vantage point to get to all the corners. Also, if you watched the New Year's update video, in it I talked about how my night vision camera was kind of having malfunction issues when I was in Blue Ridge. Well, unfortunately, it shit the bed and is now just out of commission completely. So we're going old school. I'm using the DSLR with a headlamp. It's a pretty bright one, so we should be all right. I thought about waiting until I got the night vision cam fixed, but I have no idea when I'm gonna be able to afford that. And I definitely cannot afford a new one, so we're just gonna wing it. But yeah, it should be completely dark in a couple hours or so, and then we will put on the gear and go look around and see what we see. Hopefully I don't get eaten. I don't think I will, but you know.
With permission secured and gear in tow, Don hiked several miles into an undisclosed wilderness. It wasn't just another investigation. This one felt different. Technical issues forced Don to abandon their usual night vision setup, relying instead on a DSLR and a headlamp. Despite the setback, the intention remained the same. Cover as much ground as possible, document what they could, and follow the trail of strange reports that had drawn them here.
The battery seems to not last as long in the lighting rig, so if that goes out, we will at least have the headlamp. Just gonna try my best to try to make sure everything is well lit, which seems to keep it from getting crunchy. And try to hold the camera still. Something is moving. There's like armadillos everywhere, and they sound so much bigger than they are. There's one earlier, I started getting freaked out, and then I was like, God damn it, every time. I do have my bear mace on me just in case anything decides to get frisky with me. Don't think it will, but better safe than sorry. By the way, this is the northeastern corner of the property-ish, where we are right now. I can see tiny eye shine everywhere. There's like spiders and stuff. There's plenty of water sources on this property. I could see why there would be any kind of animal activity on here, especially cryptids. I don't know how much this has to do with cryptids specifically as opposed to any other animal, but like they're almost always sighted near sources of water. To me, that just sounds like they're things that need to drink water to live. But I could be wrong. There's like the whole missing 411 thing of like water source plus granite equals missing people or whatever. Strong sulfur smell. And of course, the guy who's letting me stay here did not want me to dox him, so I will not do that. Well, I'm not getting any weird vibes. I don't feel like I'm being watched. Nothing's really happening. I think we'll move on to another sector. Jesus Christ, this property is huge. Having to walk miles at a time just to get between the different parts. Whew.
The land was massive, thick with trees, intersected by wide trails, and bordered by multiple water sources. Don noted the pattern. Many cryptid sightings happen near water. Whether coincidence or not, the layout was ideal for something to hide. As the hours passed, they hiked from one section of the property to another. Insects buzzed, distant rustles turned out to be harmless wildlife, and a sulfuric smell occasionally hung in the air.
Seems like there's a little less animal activity over this way, quieter, which seems promising. Some of these trails are really thick, wide trails. Makes me wonder what this land used to be for. So I don't think he made all the trails himself. I think he probably bought it like this, at least for the most part. Okay, well, I've been around this part for about an hour now. Nothing seems to be happening, so let's go ahead and move to the southwestern corner. So the light panel finally died. There's bugs everywhere. I'm going to continue on with the headlamp, and hopefully that should be just fine. All right, we're now in the southwestern corner of the property. Allegedly, this is where the guy said he had the most activity. That remains to be seen. A little spooky, I guess. It's mostly just quiet. Apparently they're building a subdivision over that way. Huh.
Then, near the southwestern edge, the very area the landowner said was most active, things changed. The quiet wasn't peaceful anymore.
Ooh. Something walking. Oh, shh. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, thank. Okay. Oh, fucking keys. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh. Oh. Holy. I'm still filming. Okay. I ran all the way back to the car. Jesus Christ. I hope to. I caught that. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna get my stuff tomorrow, and just hope that it's all still there and not up at all. Christ. Holy shit, I've never run so fast in my life. I'm shaky. Holy Alright. It didn't even hit me fully until like a couple seconds after.
It was heavy, dense, and then movement. Something large. Footsteps. Deliberate. It was no deer, no armadillo, not even a bear. The sound of weight through brush was unmistakable. Panic kicked in. Dawn turned and ran. The camera kept rolling, catching every staggered breath, every frantic footstep back to the car. There was no setup, no dramatics, just pure adrenaline and fear. They didn't stop until they reached their vehicle. Later, once safe, Dawn reviewed the footage and reflected on what happened. It wasn't just the size of the figure or the eye shine, which seemed far too vivid to be artificial. It was the movement, the muscle beneath the skin, the way it navigated the terrain. Not stiff, not clumsy, but fluid, deliberate, alive. They couldn't say for certain what it was, but they knew what it wasn't. And that alone was enough. Dawn returned the next morning to collect their gear, untouched, but surrounded by a silence that now felt different. Was it a hoax? Their imagination? Or had they truly crossed paths with something that wasn't supposed to be there? Something watching, waiting, unhappy with their presence. Let us know what you believe, because when you're deep in the woods, far from help, sometimes you don't get to choose what finds you. On a frigid night in early January 2025, the creator behind Exploring with Bear returned to a remote stretch of wilderness, a location already familiar to longtime viewers for its chilling reputation. The area had been quiet for nearly a year, but stories still circulated. Reports of strange lights, distant howls, and sightings of not just one, but two cryptids, Bigfoot and the infamous Dogman, had persisted. This time, Bear planned to stay the night in his truck, parked along the tree line. With an infrared camera, an offering of fruit, and a fire for warmth, he hoped to quietly monitor any potential activity. But the deeper the night grew, the stranger things became.
There we go.
Did you guys hear that? What in the world was that? Man, that stinks. We're down to one light. Okay, I got more in the truck, but I didn't expect.
With temperatures dropping well into the teens, Bear relied on a wool blanket and a hand warmer to withstand the cold. But the physical discomfort was soon overshadowed by something else. An eerie energy surrounding the camp. A tragic backstory lingered nearby. A drowning incident had taken place not far from the site, and many viewers believed it contributed to the strange tension in the area. It didn't take long before things began to shift. First came the sounds, distant metallic echoes, unnatural thumps deeper in the woods. Then came the prints, large, deep, and spaced too far apart to belong to any ordinary animal. Some appeared in spots that had just been cleared, as if something was deliberately retracing his steps. As Bear tried to rest, something struck the rear of the truck. Startled, he grabbed his light and scanned the area, but found nothing. Later, strange vocalizations echoed through the trees, howls or something like them. At one point, Bear left the safety of the truck to check the scene again, only to discover his infrared camera had shifted from its original position. Even more unsettling, the Apple offering remained untouched, but new tracks had appeared near it. No creature was captured on camera, but something had definitely passed through. By 4 a.m., Bear had reached his limit, cold, sleep-deprived, and growing increasingly uneasy. The gear was packed, the fire was out, and the woods remained oppressively still. Taken alone, any one of the night's events could be brushed off: wind, wildlife, equipment failure. But together, the signs pointed towards something else. A pattern emerged. Tracks too deep and too far apart. Repeated equipment disruption. Movement in areas just inspected. Direct physical contact with his truck. Displaced gear. With no sign of human or animal interference. Whether it was a territorial animal, an intelligent presence, or something unknown, it had remained just out of reach, always near, never seen. What if the thing out there wasn't interested in being seen? What if it was watching the entire time? Not curious, but testing the boundary. Let us know what you think, because in forests like this, silence might be a warning, not a comfort. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.
We're stalking who now? Look at that. You see?
Mira, mira. ¡Ay! Pasó ya. Y tiró la silla.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. In a video uploaded on June 17, 2025, Nomad Unknown shares a raw and personal update on her nomadic journey. After spending 8 straight months living full-time in her car, she opens up about the emotional exhaustion that has set in, prompting a shift in her lifestyle. She calls this new phase her dirtbag era, one where she plans to stay longer in remote wilderness areas, embracing solitude and simplicity. She selects a quiet, tucked-away campsite, choosing a setup that allows her to cook and relax from the back of her vehicle. While briefly mentioning safety considerations, she focuses more on practicality and comfort. Her tone is candid as she talks through her camp routine and preferences. But what begins as a peaceful retreat quickly shifts when she recounts a chilling close call.
I always like to have the most private side where I'm backed into, because it's where I spend more time, you know, cooking out the tailgate and stuff like that. I know a lot of people say back in for safety so you can pull away. Like, dude, if somebody's blocking me in, does it make more sense to ram them with the front of my car or the back of my car? Back of my car. That wasn't a question. Front end damage, I might not be able to drive anymore. Back end damage, probably can still drive. I'm not messing around, you know. When it comes to that, it'll come to other things. All right, this is a great campsite.
While camped alone in the Bridger Teton National Forest, not far from Grand Teton National Park, she found herself face to face with a grizzly bear. The moment unfolded with startling speed. As she stood behind her car troubleshooting a video upload, she noticed movement.
So the other night, I was ever so casually standing at the back of my car. I wasn't actually cooking. I was just troubleshooting something on my phone because I was trying to upload a video. I had my chair back there, just hanging out like I usually do. And something caught the corner of my eye. And I looked up, and about 10 feet away from me, moving towards me, was a full-grown grizzly bear. By time I rounded the corner to put the car in between me and the bear, it was probably like 6 feet away from me. Utter panic. Imagine you're just like hanging out like this, and then where that fire pit is, a grizzly walks up. Because that's what happened. I don't have my bear spray on me. It's on the other side of my car. Oh my God. Bear! Bear in camp!
Only to realize that a full-grown bear was approaching, just 10 feet away. Acting on pure instinct, she moved quickly to place her vehicle between herself and the animal. The bear closed the distance to about 6 feet before veering off. Though she had bear spray stored nearby, the encounter unfolded too fast for her to retrieve it. As she processed the moment, she became aware that other campers were nearby. Some had also reported strange sounds earlier in the evening. She managed to warn them as the bear circled her car and reappeared at the front, giving her little time to think. Though part of the incident was caught on video, the most intense moment had already passed by the time recording began. She reflects on how primal instincts took over, her body reacting faster than her conscious mind.
I feel like this bear was trying to attack me. No, but I also didn't feel like it was just like totally cool with me. And so I wanted to run, and I did start like moving kind of quickly. And then I had to catch myself to slow down because I was like, you are giving chase right now. Like, stop, slow down, and turn around. So I did. So the video's a little bit all over the place, but at that point, I know that the boys had their bear spray in their hand, and their car was open, and I just thought I will jump in their car if I need to right now because I was defenseless. I think it was probably a little bit scared by the movement of all the other people. And I say all the other people, there's probably like 6 or 8 people in that area. And then that's when it crossed behind the rear of my car, basically where I had just been standing. You can see in the video like how big it was in comparison to like my items, my car and everything. And then it just started cutting across the meadow, and I caught somebody else in camp on the other side was walking, and it caught my eye, and I was like, they don't know. And so I just screamed bear in camp. And those are like the only words I could get out of my mouth because I was just in like 100% fight or flight mode at that time. I wasn't like fully like, I don't know. I just felt like it was just monkey brain. I was just like survival.
This experience reminded her of similar reflexes during past wilderness encounters, like nearly stepping on rattlesnakes while hiking. After the bear eventually wandered off toward a nearby meadow, she spotted another camper in the distance who hadn't noticed the danger. Still shaken, she shouted a warning across the field. Thankfully, fellow campers offered her a safer place to park for the night, helping restore a sense of calm after the intense scare. The most valuable lesson she emphasizes is the importance of keeping bear spray within arm's reach at all times, not stowed away. While solo camping offers freedom and peace, How far is too far when it comes to personal risk, especially in bear territory? Would you continue camping alone after an encounter like this? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. A YouTuber known as Harbor Explorers ventures once again into the wilds of the Australian bush, this time heading deep into Bindari National Park. The purpose of this journey is to locate a mysterious tent, one that has long been rumored to be connected to a tragic incident involving a partially recovered body found in a nearby creek years ago. Joined by a friend, Harbor treks roughly 5 kilometers into the thick forest. Along the way, he recounts the unsettling backstory. Years prior, a man known for his love of wild camping in this very park was discovered dead. Only his torso was ever found. Some believe the tent they're searching for may have belonged to him, left untouched in the wilderness ever since.
Friday the 13th. Good date to be hiking to a supposed dead man's tent. Alright, so back to the story about this abandoned tent out here. Now apparently the body that was found in the creek further down, the fella actually, apparently loved this national park. He used to come out here and wild camp all the time and hike in the area, so sort of strengthens the case that this could be his tent. But like I said, we'll go have a look around and see what we can find. See if we can find anything with a name on it or whatnot. Won't mess it up too much in respect to the fella if it was his, but we'll have a look anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe to get to the tent, probably not even. See how we go anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe.
As they hike deeper into the forest, they notice fresh, large animal tracks in the soil, a subtle reminder of the untamed environment they're in. Harbor calmly mentions he always carries a knife for safety. After an hour of hiking, they locate the tent, still remarkably intact.
Alright, here we are. It's a bit weird, eh? It's like a kid's bag there. It's a hiking pack. Part of a chair. How long this thing's been here? I mean, the body of the fella was found, I think 2009. So if it is his, I'm not good at maths, what's that? 15 years or so ago? Surely it can't still be standing.
Scattered nearby are items that raise questions. A child's backpack, a collapsed camp chair, a duffel bag, and a large hiking pack. One detail stands out: a battery stamped with a date that closely aligns with the man's disappearance in the mid-2000s. The eerie setting grows more intense when a distant, unnatural horn-like sound echoes through the trees. Though both men hear it, they can't identify the source. Harbor, who had previously considered filming an overnight solo camp at the tent, admits that this moment has changed his mind. They continue toward the creek where the body was discovered. It's a narrow, steep canyon, dangerous during floods. Harbor speculates that if the man had fallen in during heavy rain, the conditions might have caused his injuries.
Yeah, she gets a bit gnarly down around the corner there. I mean, if old mate slipped in here somewhere during flood time and got washed down there a little bit, I don't think you'd be able to get out. And that would probably do enough damage to turn you into just a torso, but it's speculation, we don't know that, so. But yeah, it's a gnarly canyon. Awesome spot.
It's only a theory, but a chilling one. After examining the area, the two men climb back up to the tent and make their way out.
All right, we're back. All right, we're done and dusted. We're out of here. Yeah, she's a creepy old bloody tent. That one out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm guessing by some of the dates and whatnot we saw on the battery and a couple of those things and the cooker, they sort of marry up to around when he went missing or he was found. So I'm guessing that probably was his tent, but still unsure, not completely sure if it was or not. But anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Harbour reflects on what they found, objects whose timelines seem to match the tragedy. While he can't say for certain, the evidence leans toward the theory that this tent once belonged to the deceased camper. Back at the car, Harbour ends the video with his usual casual tone. Though it was Friday the 13th, there were no sinister cults, no paranormal events, only that strange sound and an overwhelming feeling of unease. The date markings, the condition of the gear, and the location all point to the tent possibly being linked to the man who vanished. Could the secluded terrain have claimed his life? Or was there something else out here? Something darker? If this tent truly belonged to him, why was it never found before? And what exactly made that horn sound in the middle of nowhere? Nicholas Paparo is a passionate fisherman and content creator, best known for his outdoor YouTube channel, where he documents solo fishing trips, tests gear, and explores remote waterways. His typical videos capture the calm and thrill of nature, a personal retreat into the solitude of wild rivers. But in this particular episode, that calm is unexpectedly replaced by unease. The day begins as many of his outings do. Nicholas sets off deep into the forest, casting lines along an isolated stretch of river, accompanied by his dog, Lola. The mood is tranquil. He seems focused and content, immersed in the natural rhythm of fishing far from civilization. But partway through the video, that sense of serenity shifts.
Lola, come here. How's it going?
While filming, Nicholas notices two men appear nearby. At first, it seems routine. Hikers or fellow anglers occasionally pass by, sometimes stopping to chat, but these two behave differently. They remain silent, standing at a distance without saying a word. Even when Nicholas acknowledges them, there's no response. Instead, they hover, inching closer, pretending to look around, yet clearly watching him. Their behavior grows more suspicious by the minute. Their movements feel too calculated, too deliberate. It becomes clear they're not there to enjoy the river.
Come here. Come here.
Sensing something off, Nicholas grows increasingly alert. He doesn't know what their intentions are, but every instinct tells him to be cautious. Luckily, he's not alone. His dog Lola stays close, clearly aware of the tension. Her presence likely deters any further escalation, a protective buffer against potential danger. Not wanting to take any chances, Nicholas decides to quietly pack up and move to another location downriver. The men do not follow, and no confrontation occurs, but the encounter leaves a lasting impact.
Woohoo! Alright, those dudes are just standing there staring at me. Sketchy! I don't know if they wanted something or what, but they were peeping me out from down the river, and then they came closer and closer, and they were just tending to look at the trees, and then they kept staring at me. Fuck. Usually people like say something or whatever. They're just standing there staring, like, especially peeking past the trees halfway down the river and then getting closer and closer and then standing next to me and just staring at me. Yikes.
Later, Nicholas reflects on what happened, visibly shaken by the experience. What was meant to be a peaceful outing became an unnerving reminder of how quickly a situation can change, even in nature, where danger often comes in unexpected forms. The men's silent, calculated behavior raised immediate red flags. Were they simply awkward passers-by? Or were they assessing whether Nicholas was vulnerable, possibly considering theft, intimidation, or something worse? The way they approached without speaking, yet clearly watched from a distance, suggests more than casual curiosity. What do you think these men were really doing out there? Was Nicholas simply overthinking the encounter? Or did his instincts save him from something far worse? In a short but chilling encounter uploaded on June 15, 2024, Mike ventures deep into the remote woods of Dudleytown, Connecticut, a place long shrouded in folklore, mystery, and rumors of being cursed. Known for ghost sightings, inexplicable noises, and other unsettling phenomena, Dudleytown has earned a reputation as one of New England's most haunted forests. Despite the ominous history surrounding the area, Mike sets out on a solo hike, initially treating the trip like any ordinary woodland exploration. But as he progresses deeper into the dense forest, that calm begins to unravel.
Watch who's stalking who now. Who's stalking who now? Look at that. You see a person? Yeah, who's stalking who now? I got you now, motherfucker. I got you now, motherfucker. Look at this beautiful moss, by the way. Do you hear it? Look.
Strange sounds begin to follow him. Subtle but persistent noises from behind, as if something or someone is trailing him. Each time he pauses and turns around, the forest appears empty. No visible person. No movement. Just silence. Feeling watched, Mike ducks behind a rock to observe his surroundings. While recording from this hidden vantage point, his camera captures something unusual.
Okay, ready? Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Look at that. I'm by myself in Dudley. Look at that. Oh my God.
A vague figure, distant and partially obscured by the trees, standing motionless as if watching. The sight sends a wave of unease through him. As he continues hiking, the tension only grows. More movement is caught on camera. A person, or what appears to be one, weaving through the forest just out of reach. The figure never approaches, but it never leaves either. It keeps its distance. Always there, always watching. What makes the moment especially disturbing is the silence. No words, no confrontation. Just a lingering, shadowy presence. Though deeply unsettled, Mike eventually makes it out of the forest unharmed. There's no direct interaction, no final twist, but the experience leaves its mark. Encounters like these show that the danger in remote places isn't always supernatural. Whether this was a person hiding in the woods or something harder to explain, it's the uncertainty, the not knowing, that creates real fear. Was it a prank, a drifter, or something else entirely? In a recent upload, the paranormal investigation channels Sorry, Taguya, and Archaeotica ventured deep into a cemetery notorious for intense supernatural activity. What begins as a standard night exploration quickly spirals into one of their most unnerving encounters yet.
¿Por qué te vas? Acércate.
Oye, ¿escuchas?
Corrió para acá. A ver, muéstrame tu tumba. Sé que aquí está. ¿Por qué te fuiste?
¡Uy! ¡Dios mío!
¿Te dices cuenta?
¿Te golpearon, amiga?
¿De dónde cayó ese palo?
No sé dónde estaba, te lo juro que no miré.
¿Te enojaste, verdad? ¿No te
Ah, caray. Sí te golpeó duro, amiga, ¿eh?
Por eso te enojaste. Aquí estoy, ven. A ver, ven y hazlo otra vez. Ven y hazlo.
Mira, ¿qué es eso, amiga?
¿Qué?
Es una silla. Se movió, ¿eh?
Está sentada ahí.
A ver, pon una parte abajo, mía, en el puro medio pono.
Hay que bajarla de acá arriba porque es tumba. Y grabamos el
Sí, amigo. La vamos a bajar, amigo, porque no queremos problema ahí con la gente del cementerio, amigos.
No, y es que luego dicen que es uno, pues. A ver, aquí estoy, ven. Ven, yo vi que la silla se movió. Yo vi que ahí estabas. Acércate, quiero verte.
The team enters cautiously, flashlights cutting through the darkness. Almost immediately, strange phenomena begin to unfold. Faint laughter echoes across the graves, and a chair positioned near a tomb starts to move on its own, rocking and shifting with no visible cause.
Mira, José se está sumando de acá. Hola.
¡Ay! Acá. ¿Hola? Mira, la silla, mira la silla.
Llegaste aquí, ¿qué quieres? A ver, dime, ¿qué quieres? Acércate.
Ah, caray.
No la deja agarrar. Te estoy diciendo que vengas para acá, acércate. ¿Qué es lo que quieres en realidad? Yo te estoy ordenando que ahí te quedes. Quédate ahí sentada. ¿Qué quieres? A ver, si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate en este momento. Yo quiero verte, no quiero que muevas la silla, quiero verte. No quiero que me retes con una silla, quiero poderte ver. Si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate. A ver, muéstrate, quiero verte, acércate. No quiero que te estés escondiendo, ni que te manifiestes agrediéndome, acércate.
Mira. Y a tus pies.
Exactamente, es que está enojada, pues.
The unease intensifies when one of the investigators is struck by an unseen force, seemingly out of nowhere. Attempts to calmly communicate with whatever entity may be present go unanswered. Yet, the atmosphere continues to shift. The chair's movements become more deliberate, as if some invisible force is using it to interact or issue a warning. One team member speculates that the spirit may be female based on the energy and subtle visual impressions. Regardless of identity, it's clear that the entity does not appreciate being challenged.
Cuidado, cuidado. Amigos, somos 656 personas. Apóyenme a compartir, mi gente hermosa. Apóyenme a compartir y distribuir este contenido, amigos. Vamos, sí se puede. Sí se puede llegar a más compartida. ¿Cómo de que no, mi amigos? Pues toda... Ah, no manches.
Qué asco.
Pues mira toda la brujería que hay, amiga.
¿Qué?
Hay brujería con cráneo y todo, mira.
Qué asco.
Apesta horrible.
Huele horrible. ¿Eso ya se reventó? Eso ya hizo lo que tenía que hacer, José.
Vean toda la brujería, amigos.
Mira, tiene cocos. Es que la tiran para esta parte porque es parte donde uno no se puede meter a sacarla. Mira, y está el ataúd, José.
Sí, ya todo eso, amiga.
Están los ataúdes.
Hay que grabar más profundo, amiga.
¿Me quito?
No. Pensé que se podía, pero no. ¿Escuchaste?
Sí. ¿Quién está ahí? Hola.
As the investigation progresses, the team uncovers scattered remnants of brujeria, or witchcraft. In concealed corners of the cemetery, they find signs of ritualistic activity: small coffins, animal remains, melted candles, coconut shells, and personal belongings, objects often used in occult ceremonies. Many of these items are hidden in places difficult to access, indicating deliberate concealment and long-term use.
Hola. Hey. ¿Quién pasó, pues?
¿Quién está ahí?
Buenas noches.
José, pero ¿te das cuenta que eso como que voló?
Espérate. No sé qué fue. Hola.
Yo vi que como que voló, José.
¿No será algo en la silla?
Hola.
No, a ver, mueve esa silla para el medio, amiga. Algo de tener esa silla. Porque caminó para acá, para la silla, ¿eh?
Acá.
Ahí déjala, amiga.
¿Estás buscando la silla? ¿La estás buscando? Ahí está la silla. ¿Qué quieres con ella? A ver, ve.
Sí.
Habló, José. Habló. Ahí la tienes, ven. Acércate, ahí está la silla.
Mira. No mames. ¿Miraste?
The sense of being watched never fades. Whispers, distant voices, and fleeting shadows seem to come from every direction. At one point, the team captures what appears to be a shadowy figure briefly sitting in the chair. Though it vanishes quickly, it leaves a lingering feeling that something highly active and intelligent is present.
Oh, un niño. Pues que la verdad ya ni sé, amiga, qué era.
Buenas noches.
Oye, ¿se escucha la voz,
¿Ya aquí fueron al cementerio? ¿No te da miedo?
Se escucha la voz,
A ver, aquí estoy. Ven, acércate.
Ay.
Acá.
Ay, caray, ay, caray.
Fue aquí. A ver, ¿quién está ahí?
Fue aquí.
Oye, José. Como que algo está hablando de acá atrás.
Uy.
A ver, acércate.
Mira.
Se está riendo algo,
¡Ay! Pasó ya. Y tiró la silla. Yo lo miré, estaba sentado en una silla, amiga. ¿Hola? Estaba sentado en una silla, amiga, ¿eh? ¿Hola?
O sea, nos estaba viendo para dónde agarrábamos.
Y agarró para acá.
Lo que sea que esté aquí nos
Hay
estaba
que buscarlo.
viendo, José.
Hay que buscarlo. Oye. Siguen los golpes.
¿Hola?
Ah, caray.
A ver, aquí estamos.
No, está muy fuerte esto.
Acércate, ¿dónde estás? Hola. No se mira.
Then, during a particularly tense moment, the chair is violently knocked over by an unseen force. The act seems fueled by anger or territoriality, as if the entity is issuing a final warning. Leave. Moments later, the team hears a voice, clear and close, though no one is in sight. Shadows flicker at the edges of their lights, and the oppressive atmosphere becomes nearly unbearable. Recognizing the risk, the investigators make the decision to withdraw. While no one is physically harmed, the psychological impact of the experience is unmistakable. The combination of physical interaction, ritual evidence, and intense energy suggests that this location is not only haunted, but charged by years of unresolved spiritual disturbance. This investigation stands out for how quickly it escalated, from simple communication attempts to physical aggression and the discovery of witchcraft materials. Could this spirit have been conjured or bound by years of ritual practices? Or is it something that has always been tied to the land itself? Do you think this was a real paranormal encounter? Or was it staged for dramatic effect? Either way, if you were there, how long would you have stayed in that cemetery? In one of his most haunting investigations to date, Franco TV ventures high into the Andes Mountains for a solo nighttime exploration that takes a deeply unsettling turn. Recently uploaded, the video documents his journey into a remote area with a long-standing reputation for supernatural legends, ranging from spiritual guardians of the mountains to terrifying creatures like the Wendigo. Situated at altitudes reaching 9,000 to 10,000 feet, Franco braves freezing temperatures to begin his investigation.
And holy shit, this place is amazing.